ones advancing. I don't think there's room, unfortunately, for a 3-2 record, but it looks like we're getting things started off strong here. Ivan and Locklen going at it, trying to take a positive record away. And what are kind of the opening options for these players here?
Well, first off, I just want to say I'm super excited for this matchup. It's going to be really, really great. Both of these players have got quite a bit of experience with combo. And with both of these games, so this is going to be really great. So, like you asked, our options are two. Essentially, you can stay in Super Metroid, where there are 2 items to check, only one of which in logic, and you can still see the second item in the ceiling of Super Metroid. But your other option is what both of these players decided to do, and go into A Link to the Past. And first thing you saw both of them do was check that Lake Hylia Island, yet another item that is unobtainable right now, but it's good to have that knowledge to sit, like, if it was something really important, like maybe Morph Ball, or, for example, right? You know that it's there, and you know that when you have the required items to get there, you can just beeline it right to that item. So what are both of them doing right now?
So it looks like Ivan and Locklen are both heading up to Hyrule Castle. They're able to do the tree pulls, which the game does start you with a tier 3 tree pull. If you pull the trees based on the number of enemies you've killed and the amount of damage you've taken, you can get different prize packs out of the trees. Looks like we got arrows there. And then they're also checking out what's available at the Uncle and the secret passage chest locations. These items are, pretty free to access in the early game, especially since they don't have any bombs yet. So it's kind of nice to be able to just knock these out and get them out of the way.
Right, absolutely. And you'll see these players very likely checking another set. They're the 3 tiers of the different items that you can get from the trees. You'll see them checking a second one here in just a minute. Both of them killing those guards, hoping for some bombs. Unfortunately, I can assume that's what they are looking for, but unfortunately did not get any of them. They still have a couple more chances, though, for getting bombs, or at least some money to buy them before they really need them. So we'll see what this tier 1 tree pull is here. Another full magic decanter that they already got from the guards there. There are blue rupees, though, from the hoarder crab.
Yeah, it looks like Ivan's gonna sink the time. It looks like Locklen's gonna do the same to grab these rupees, because 50 rupees is kind of what you're looking for in order to purchase bombs from the shop. Any of the shops, really, around Hyrule. So, likely gonna see them buy bombs in Kakariko Village, but if they do find bombs here in the Lost Woods, then they can kind of get bailed out.
Right. And I mean, honestly, I don't think it's really that bad of a time sink to grab these rupees. They are both around 20. It's 6 rupees that they'd need to grab from these crabs, and it's just guaranteeing you that you're going to have what you need to get the bombs. Looks like they're continuing to grab more rupees, because there is the bottle vendor that does require you to spend 100 rupees to collect it, which is also why you're seeing Ivan grabbing that big 20 there. Also, they need, if you don't get any bombs, you're going to need about 150 rupees to do everything you need to do in Kakariko.
It's really nice to just get it done. Like, you don't want to be left without buying the item. So,
or bomb things unchecked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It feels really bad when you have to leave an area with something unchecked, because you just know you got to come back to it later, especially something so item dense and early on as Kakariko, where there's, just tons and tons of items here. But at this point, we're going to see these players do one of 2 things. They're either going to go straight down to buy bombs, which looks like Ivan's doing, or they're going to take a risk for the bisque, and go straight into Blind's house and hope that they pull bombs there. Looks like neither of them are doing that. We do have Moon Pearl, though, in the tavern already. All right.
That's exciting. So that's one of the pieces of the puzzle for Dark World access here in Link to the Past. You need the Moon Pearl, you need the hammer, and a glove or 2 glove upgrades in order to access the Dark World. So we're going to be on the lookout for those items. But in addition, Moon Pearl actually opens up some interesting sequence-breaking options when we get down to Lake Hylia. So we may end up seeing some of these players fake flipper and be able to access the Waterfall Fairy Cave eventually, if we don't end up finding flippers.
Yeah, that would be really interesting to see, especially if they get money for King Zora. One thing, though, to note is that Locklen did not go into the tavern on his first way down here. I'm assuming he's just going to leave it for when he goes down to check library and race game. But it's just of note, just in case for some reason he ends up missing it. But we got both. We got the well and Blind's house. There's no waiting for us here as viewers to see what is here. Oh, there are the flippers. So immediate and speed boost burr, single arrow, power bomb,
Man,
ice beam.
This is getting out of control right now.
So, all right, there's quite a few things that they just got. Okay, actually though, there's a lot of stuff coming up early here. So those flippers are gonna open up 3 items logically, plus Zora, which is opened up by flippers or gloves. So those flippers are opening up 4 items there. Speed Booster is allowing actually a little bit of progression in Super Metroid, and then the rest of the items that they got there, like Red Cane, Ice Beam, are progression items, not really immediately helpful.
Right. Yeah, that speed booster has me a bit intrigued right now because, you know, it does open up a handful of items in Super Metroid, and whoever takes the gamble to go there could get paid off big time. You know, you tend not to see a lot of players head back into Super Metroid until, you know, they have morph or are forced to go back with an item like Speed Booster or Screw Attack or whatever they may find. So that could be an interesting gamble.
Yeah, absolutely, because it does open up as of their item pool right now. It opens up 6 items logically for them. It's going to open up the item in the ceiling in Blue Brinstar. It's going to open up the Terminator item. It's going to open up 2 items in the Green Brinstar Reserve, and it's going to the actual reserve location and then the early supers location, and then it's also going to open up the 2 items in Pink Brinstar. So there's those 6 that it opens up, but it takes quite a while to get all the way down there. And then, you know, even if it's something that you do want to keep, it's quite a trek back. Now, one thing I'm finding interesting is that Ivan, I don't believe they picked up super missiles yet, but Ivan decided not to get the one at race game.
And I believe Locklen did end up skipping the tavern there.
Did he?
No! You may have cursed him a little bit.
Oh, great! Oh, I will not be
Hopefully he'll go back and realize that he's missed that location, because Moon Pearl is just one of those absolutely required items in the game.
That's bad.
It is really unfortunate. And he is saving quitting out of Kakariko. Let's hope that he remembers, and you know, he's just YOLOing it, I guess. I don't know.
Now, you gotta kind of give him like the benefit of the doubt. Like when you do something a little like it's very likely that you're gonna get bombs or something. You don't have to go down to the bottom of Kakariko and then back up and do some like weird route like that. Sometimes it happens, but you know, it might not be super common for him, and it might just be like it threw off his normal, you know, routine, so to speak, which could entirely be the reason for that. And unfortunately, that is, you know, just something that happens there. But I guess so. It's and on the topic of skipping those super missiles, Ivan did get some outside of the dam, seeing some awesome Kane of Samaria strats here to kill these mini Moldorms.
Yeah, pretty cool weapon early on in the game, and with all those large magic decanters everywhere. You even saw one dropping
everywhere.
Arms. Definitely a good weapon for early on here in Link to the Past, because I mean, we don't have a sword, we don't have the hammer, we don't have blue cane or anything like that, like Fire Rod. We have to make do with what we have. So, you know, usually either bombs, or if you're lucky enough, you can find an item like Cane of Samaria that can help you get through.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the reason why I brought up that it was interesting that Ivan skipped that Super Packet race game, it's understandable why, because it takes a little bit of time to go get them, and I mean, you know, you're very likely going to grab supers at some other point in time because there's so many of them. But there have been randomizers, and there are situations where you're going into Super Metroid because you've exhausted all your Link to the Past options, and you have no super missiles, which is not entirely the worst thing, but you are going to be gated in Super Metroid by not having them if you're not getting any in Super Metroid. So you're taking a little bit of a gamble there. So it's just a little surprising to me, just regardless of the fact that having extra supers are good to have in case of no charge, for example.
Locklen getting trolled by the crabs and the enemies in this area. Hopefully can continue surviving. You can see those crabs do 2 full hearts of damage, so he's kind of in the danger zone right now, trying to make his way to Ice Rod Cave. And we're also seeing Ivan hit up some of the flippers locked locations. So, when you see those flippers, you're kind of like, I guess maybe something's locked behind him. Might as well go ahead and check him out. And I do think it's a pretty strong play. You don't have the money for Zora at this point because we haven't really seen a substantial amount of money in the game, but you can check out Hobo. Right. You can get the Waterfall Fairy chests. There are 2 there, and then 1 more on Zora Ledge.
Yeah, that was one that I neglected to mention earlier. Oh, but gloves at Hobo, that's really good.
That's pretty amazing. That's going to unlock the back of escape right now for these players, and that's 3 quick items. Maybe you find a map or a key back there. But if these players are comfortable with sequence breaking, they could jump into the dark room and check out the dark cross room in the sewers. A lot of options available. Open up. You can sequence break up the mountain if you like. A little bit tricky, but we do have the red cane to kind of guide us through the dark if they're feeling it.
Yeah,
should be noted we are playing the normal logic of the randomizer here, so no sequence breaks by any means are required, and the same is true for hard mode at the moment for Link to the Past, but more than likely we'll probably see some sequence breaks from some of these players because they can end up being pretty lucrative.
Right, and it's a good point that you make. Like sequence breaks are very lucrative in Randomizer, even though you're getting to locations that are based on what you have out of logic and wouldn't necessarily include something that you need at that moment for progression. It could still have something for later down the progression line, which can then, it's making your checks more efficient. You're, like we were talking about in Kakariko, it feels bad to leave checks behind. If you're able to knock everything out in one go, even stuff that's illogical, it just means you don't have to travel back to that location and to waste a bunch of time later on, which just saves a bunch of time. And then, you might end up getting something really value, like maybe the lamp or something in another location that just really helps out early on, or an extra sword or whatnot.
So it looks like we're in the back of escape here. There's the key. We got some boots and a super pack, so really nice play by Ivan to jump back there into the back of escape. That opens up the bonk rocks and just helps us go fast. It's always nice. Looks like we might be seeing Ivan head towards the front of escape now. He knows that there is a map somewhere in the front of escape, so that'll be hiding there. It could also be in the dark room in the sewers. Right. But
yeah, that's what he's hoping, is that map is going to be in that dark room. He's going to get these next 3 chests in the escape, and he's not going to get a map, and he's going to know that there's nothing in that dark chest, because it's pretty inconvenient to go get. It's out of the way, plus lamp is technically required for it, but as Al has been saying, you can get it without the lamp. It's just a little bit tricky, because you can't see.
Yeah, and now with gloves and Moon Pearl, we're really just looking for the hammer or another glove upgrade, and then we're just off to the races in the Dark World. We can even use the Cane of Samaria to beat Thieves Town. So there's definitely some interesting options available if we do get that Dark World access. But we could just as easily find Morph Ball, which could send us to Super Metroid, or maybe the requirement is to go into Super Metroid with Speed Booster, as we talked about before. There's just a lot of stuff. We'll just have to see what happens.
Right, absolutely. Like, it could be, go into Super Metroid to get the hammer, to go back to Link to the Past, to go to Dark World. It could be some really awesome stuff like that. But we see Locklen actually diverging a little bit from Ivan, going and check these bonk rocks by the Sanctuary. Interesting check there. It did not really pay out for him that much. We're going to see where he decides to go now. There's Sahasrahla and Eastern. We haven't seen a map from either of these places, actually, so we don't know what the crystals and stuff are, but it looks like he is going to be following Ivan into the escape. So Sahas Eastern does have a solid, potentially up to 6 items that they can grab there. So I'm interested to see when that will happen, or who will be the first to dip into Super Metroid. Take the plunge, if you will.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that's a kind of a big gamble because there's definitely more items available in Link to the Past right now, but that number is starting to dwindle. I mean, Sahasrahla Eastern definitely most lucrative of the plays on the table, I would say. But I mean, Super Metroid can pay off just as well. Looks like since Ivan did find the map in the front of Escape there, he may go through the dark rooms here, so we might get a peek at what's in this dark cross. Can be a bit challenging when there's enemies hiding in the dark and knocking you all over the place, but the red cane can kind of get in their way.
The red cane, it actually it serves a great purpose because it's a visual marker for yourself to see where you are, and it also is a source of damage. If an enemy runs into it, they'll get hit by it. But you also see Ivan using his dash puffs too to kind of follow himself around there.
Yeah, and this is the notorious snake room that can do lots of damage to you, but you see him just putting the block in front of himself and pushing it along, and that can really just help deal with all those snakes because they just get, knocked away by it. This can be also kind of a tricky room, but you see he's also doing the same strategy there. You just have to find this treasure chest in the dark, and it looks like it's a piece of heart.
Really, really fast, really well done by Ivan there. That was very quick. It can sometimes be pretty tricky to locate the chest and then get in a proper position to grab it. Now, an interesting thing though about opening chests in the dark is that some items actually do not show up. So you'll grab the item, but you won't be able to see what it is. And a lot of the time, that's like a Super Metroid item sometimes. So unfortunately, you don't even know what it is until you get there. And we did see a map there from Ivan, so it looked like Eastern was a 5/6 crystal. Was Hera green?
Hera was green.
Yeah, and then Desert
was a red pendant, I believe. Yeah.
So we are going to see Sahasrahla now. Locklen's going to follow him in. Getting an E-tank, a heart piece, and some bomb capacity upgrade, rather.
And again, we are still going to have to just eagerly await Locklen to get back to the tavern, the back of the tavern, to get his Moon Pearl. I think ideally, progression to the Dark World is early here, because then he'll be forced to kind of find that, and there aren't a lot of locations that he'll have to backtrack to make sure he's checked. But if they do end up finding like Morph Ball or something, then Super Metroid kind of becomes their oyster, and it's just going to take him longer and longer to get back to that location. So, here's to hoping that they kind of get stopped up soon.
Right, that's a good point that you make. As soon as just the more locations that become available to them, the more things that they get that open up more locations just means less time that Locklen is going to be spending time thinking, what did I miss?
And now we did get a sword there in the first chest in Eastern Palace. Doesn't really unlock anything immediately, but, that's just an item that players really want to have. You can see you can dash through enemies like Ivan's doing there without just getting hit by them. It's just a nice convenience item and just a good weapon in general.
Right, and it really helps with the dark room location as well. So we saw Ivan using his dash puffs. He was using the Cane of Samaria to track himself along. If you hold the sword out, you can actually see the sword sparkles when you go to charge up for a spin attack. So that also is helpful for location within the dark rooms there.
And we also found a mushroom in Eastern as well. Locklen's about to pick it up here, so that's a fun little fetch quest that we can go on to the witch and retrieve one more item. Interestingly, they do have the Cane of Samaria as well, which does open up the opportunity for a magic bat glitch. We just need a hammer in order to be able to accomplish that.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see if these players opt to do that. If they get those items. Now, we did get 2 out of 3 items here in Eastern, so there's a 50-50 shot that their final item is going to be, out of logic but obtainable at the vanilla big key location, or it's going to be on Armos, which they're going to be unable to acquire because they need the bow to get there. Looks like Ivan's going to answer that question for us.
Yeah, and I think Locklen's following suit here. I mean, they do have some great items for being able to track themselves through the dark there, and I think most players will agree that the Eastern Palace dark rooms are some of the easiest in the game. At least these first ones. Getting to Armos can be a little tricky, but these guys are doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are only a handful, and by a handful I mean like 1 or 2 locations remaining available to these players. One of them is Zora, which is awful because they need to farm a bunch of money. Now, luckily they do have the gloves though, which makes it a faster check. There's a 50 rupee farm down by Desert. And while they're down there, they could check the other item location available to them, which would be Agana's Cave, which is just 1 check. So those are the only 2 that are coming to mind remaining in A Link to the Past. Or it looks like Ivan's going to sequence break up the mountain, which is going to allow for a couple more checks, and also entrance into Super Metroid, into Norfair.
Yep, without Morph, he won't be able to do too much there, but he can actually collect 1 item at the high jump E-Tank location while he's up there. We also do have that mushroom that we can turn in, which I think Locklen is doing right now.
Oh,
so
that's
this will
right.
be really interesting to see. Yeah. So, when you find an item like that, you can be a little bit skeptical. And I mean, they are running out of locations here. Doesn't have the money to kind of continue on to Zora, but I do like the check. And, potentially he could reset and keep that mushroom around if it ends up not being a good item, and then could potentially do the magic bat glitch later.
Yeah, so we might see that reset there to keep it. It is a blue rupee. Looks like, yep, he does do exactly what you said. He's going to get that mushroom back for the potential for that magic bat glitch later on with the hammer.
So Ivan's checking out these Death Mountain locations. Looks like just a super missile up in the Spectacle Rock Cave, and he's going to do a nice little hover there, easy every time, to get across. And interestingly, we've got Locklen jumping into Super Metroid right now, and he's going to be checking out some of Brinstar and this Terminator item by doing a charge, Shine Sparks here.
Now, just so people are aware, short charges are not at all required for the normal logic. You can what Locklen is doing is a short charge. However, the logical way without needing to do a short charge would be to go back to the landing site and charge up a Shine Spark out there, and then jump over that large hill in the middle of that room that Locklen was in, and then Shine Spark to the left to get through the that wall there. But he does a nice short charge to kind of skip that. Looks like Ivan's gone in, checked that first item in high jump, and heading back into a Link to the Past.
He got mitts there.
Yeah,
which is huge.
That's actually nuts. So, but it's important to note that as of right now, that is illogical.
That's very true.
So all of his Dark World stuff, he's missing either flute or lamp or like morph in order to get there logically.
That's really interesting, and based on what comes up here in Brinstar, that could really change things. So we see a bottle there at the Crumble Bridge, but being able to escape that can be difficult, and is not logical when you don't have morph. Only a super missile there at the Green Brinstar reserve item. So, what are we gonna get here?
We're gonna get a Meyer 5-6 and a pendant pod is what we're gonna get.
Oh, pendant pod, always stuffed full of treasures. Is my
absolutely. But yeah, I'm actually just looking at Locklen's super missile count, which is actually insane at the moment. He's at least 35 super missiles, which is really, really good. Starting off SM here, he's got 2 more items to check in Pink Brinstar. So if something's going to be here, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be value. Otherwise, basically the only other options are gonna be Zora or Agana.
Right. I think it would be super value if it's the flute, but the
Or
lamp might be weird.
various.
Ooh.
Hey. So interestingly, that does not. It's helped their situation right now. It would help Ivan with his sequence breaking up Death Mountain there. But as of right now, it's not helping Locklen any.
But he's found it. But that could create some interesting divergence if he does decide to break the mountain. You know, that might make norfair a little more appealing as an option, but it may also not, because he knows he's sequence breaking. It's a bit strange. So he's probably suspecting that Agana or Zora has something at this point.
I think that if just knowing that Locklen has still not gotten the Moon Pearl, I think that breaking up the mountain, going into norfair and going down to like Crocomire or something, which is or going through the upper part and going into the upper part of norfair, is a really bad decision, because it's just taking him farther away and giving him more potential to find more things to take him farther away from going back to getting the Moon Pearl, which
and if he does actually find Morph there, then like it could be a huge problem.
We just got Bo there in that big key chest in Thieves.
And I believe there is one more item available.
He's already got 3 of them?
Armos.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, you're right. Yes, there is an item at Armos, yes.
So that will definitely open that up, but again, that's illogical.
In like 5 different ways.
Yeah.
It's like chained that he broke logic up Death Mountain to get into norfair, grab the Titan's Mitts to then go into, you know, Dark World, getting into here to get the bow, to go back, to go through the dark rooms in Eastern. Oh, it's just a mess.
It sure is, but I think, you know, just a lamp will kind of make it all come full circle. So
absolutely.
It's not so bad when you think about it that way, and that lamp might totally be just hiding out in Agana or Zora, and it's really not slowing Ivan down right now. In fact, you know, he's making good progress. He's working on a crystal dungeon, which we do need all 7 crystals. Beat Ganon's tower, and then beat Ganon in order to beat Link to the Past. So he's already making some good headway here.
Right, and another thing to mention about the sequence breaks, we were talking about how, you know, it's efficient to full clear an area, even though some items might be sequence broken or whatnot. You know, just for the sake of my point, let's say that Zora is holding the lamp. They have very little money. It would take quite a bit of time, a couple minutes probably, to farm up the amount of money that they need, and then have to trek all the way to Zora just to get that lamp, to then put everything that Ivan's doing in logic. What he's doing now, having broken up the mountain, gotten all this stuff, unlocking all these other item locations, his chances for getting like a 300 rupee drop, or just, you know, enough rupees to buy Zora along the way, is so much higher now, and he's still clearing other things and making progress. So that's essentially eliminating the farm time completely in doing stuff that he would be doing anyway. So it's gaining a whole bunch of time in that regard.
Looks like Blueprint Star has come up dry for Locklen, so definitely cool to see him go for that play, because, you know, did get logical access to that Blueprint Star E-Tank with Speed Booster. And so, unfortunately, those are not coming up for anything, but that might be good for him, honestly, because it's narrowing the locations, and that might mean he has to go back to the back of the tavern to get that Moon Pearl.
Right. And so for Locklen, again, like you mentioned, this Varia might incentivize him to break up the mountain, which is entirely doable for him. But other than that, he's got Agana and Zora.
Yeah, and I think he's making that Agana play right now. Yep. Maybe we'll see him farm up as well while he's out there in the desert, like you mentioned. It is of note that since Ivan did not have the hammer in Thieves, he would not be able to access the big chest. Fortunately for him, it was just a small key in that big chest, which is a thing that can happen. So, and he does have the cashier to barely to do some digging at the digging game here. I think he wants a little bit more money, so he's continuing on his digging quest. Not having much luck. There we go.
Yeah, there's some quite. You can get kind of lucky with the digging game and get a bunch of rupees popping up, which is definitely what he wants to be doing. So he's probably going to be spending the rest of the time here grabbing that. Here we're going to see Agana. What's it going to be? That flute, morph, or lamp is, you know, one of the three that would really help out here in terms of putting all this other stuff in logic. There's the flute. Ooh. Okay.
That's exciting.
That's exciting.
So that's going to get Locklen the mitts, but he can't really do anything else with, you know, mitts at that point other than King's Tomb. Like, that's the only thing that would be logically accessible. Like, he can go into the mire area and maybe try to, like, sequence break into Mire Shed or something, but you should know that that's a sequence break, so it's not gonna, you know, have value necessarily.
Ooh, a nice looking space jump from Stumpy got the value. That's super nice. That definitely makes a lot of traversal through Super Metroid very, very easy.
Yeah, it's that can fly access, which allows you to, you know, basically reach any height that you want, which is really important for many item locations, but also just for clean movement, like you said. So here we go, Hype Cave, 5 items here. We got 50 rupees from the Hype Cave guy. We got an E-Tank, always good to stock up on those. More E-Tanks, a little piece of heart, and a full heart. A lot of safety.
So just to clarify, Upper Norfair was in logic before before Space Jump was found, as you can Shine Spark up the that first room in Norfair and get into the upper area. And Speed Booster also allows these players to get down into Crocomire. However, they would need Wave Beam or Sequence Break through that gate to get down to Crocomire. But it will be interesting to see when that happens. Probably not until Morph is found. Will they, or at least for a while, for Ivan at the very least, because he's got so many things to check still in this Dark World. He's just going on a world tour here with the dwarf, going for a nice dip in the water.
Yeah, gonna be checking out what the mushroom has to offer. Maybe we'll see a reset as well. And yeah, I'm afraid that Locklen is going to jump into that Crocomire play. Because he has, again, forgotten the tavern, which has the Moon Pearl. And so he may think that that's his only option.
Oh, so here is Ivan deciding to go into Super Metroid.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting. Because, well, I mean, I suppose he's done quite a bit of what's in. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I think he was resetting the mushroom, and the way the behavior worked. Why does he have
nice maiden, dude?
Maiden dwarf. Nice, dude.
He's so confused. Oh, this is so cool. What the? I've never seen this before. That's really cool. Okay, there we go. There he goes. I'm wondering if it would still have worked if he had just gone back to CAC and turned him in.
Yeah. All right. So there's the mitts for Locklen. Unfortunately, missing the Nova there. That's a little bit of a time waste, but he'll be able to get through that. That thing will climb all the way around the room and come back.
This is like 30 seconds of time loss.
All right, so Ivan's dwarf trip, only yielding 50 rupees, can decide to go grab the purple chest as well. Another very time-consuming check, but it's still more checks that I'm sure he wants to do. Maybe we'll see a Skull Woods dip. That's something that is available right now. We can't complete it, but we can do it pretty quickly, at least the front half. We have Red Cane, too, for the Vanilla Big Key location.
Right, that makes that room so much easier. So much easier.
Yeah, it is of note, which I think is really interesting, is that we have access to the flute. Ivan doesn't have it yet. Locklen has it, and we're going to see him check King's Tomb now. But we can get to the Mire area, and that means we can get into Lower Norfair pretty easily, which once we get like Screw Attack could be really interesting since we know that Very is available.
Absolutely. That leads to some really cool stuff. So hopefully, I have my fingers crossed that the seed plays out in such a way. But it's looking like Locklen's gonna head on in back into Norfair. He's gonna, I guess, check bottom of Business Center. And I'm wondering, again, if he goes to Crocomire, you do have to... It is illogical because he doesn't have Wave Beam, so he's going to have to Gate Glitch, which it looks like it is what he is doing. Or he could use Speed Booster to get into the upper part of Norfair.
And I think he's realized that this is illogical, or maybe he's just saving so that if he gets nothing, he can just reset back here. That's a pretty clever play. Now, what is available down in the Crocomire area?
Okay, there are... Well, as the normal logic dictates, 2 items. It's just going to be the Croc E-Tank and the Croc Power Bombs. If he wants to continue to sequence break, which I would not recommend, because he could go to the grapple location by...
Oh. Where is he going?
I don't... Oh, is he going around the long way?
Oh, he's going around the long way. Okay.
Okay. So this is just about the slowest possible way he could get to these locations. He should have just gone through the upper path, Shine Spark up in that first room. And
but
then
don't you need morph for this? I thought you needed morph.
You do, actually. Yeah, you do need morph for this. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's gonna get blocked up right here.
This is why
he's trying to find a way.
Yeah.
And there's the reset. I think he realizes that nothing here is logical, so he is maybe gonna tackle the top route, which is in logic, which can take us over to wave and speed.
Right. And without morph, yeah, he could get both items at speed booster. He can get...
Oh, no! Ivan taking an unfortunate death there right in front of Catfish.
Oh, God, that's such a bad one. Oh, baby.
Oh, baby?
Yeah, that's a bad one. Oh, baby. That's a bad death. All right, so Locklen, yeah, he's going to speed boost up. He could also, like, freeze the Sova. Excuse me. And wall jump his way up there, which is just going to kill him instead. It's totally fine. But he's got 4 items, logically, that he can get here. The one in the missile before the room with the reserve tank in it. The both items at speed booster. And then the one right before wave. Now, technically, he could get the item at wave beam. But he's not getting back because he doesn't have morph, and would be unable to get back up to that gate, and even if he did, it would be illogical to gate glitch back through it. So hopefully he doesn't get there and then soft locks himself, and then is sad about it.
You want to note that he has 45 supers, which is actually ridiculous for
basically
this stage in the game.
Basically a million, he's got like a million super missiles.
It's pretty amazing. Pretty good feeling.
So Ivan has decided to go back into Eastern. I think this is a pretty good play with this bow because, he's got his 5-6 crystal. And there's still an item left here, so he's making progress. He's gonna get another item. Again, it's still out of logic, but it's nice to just like knock this out. The unfortunate thing is like, you know, you're not. Oh, hey, wow, logically this chain is crazy. Okay, so Alu, talk us through this, now getting this lamp here in Bubble Mountain.
So Ivan's gonna logically need that lamp to be able to get through here, but I mean he's fine. He's gonna be able to get through here no problem. But man, you have to, you know, grab Speed Booster and come all the way here to Bubble Mountain. You have to go over towards. I mean, we don't know where Morph is, so like
no, the progression here.
Major, but you have to go into Pink Brinstar and grab Varia.
Yeah,
and then you have to, you know, come get this item. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Logically, the game does not ever require you to have to go into heat rooms without the Varia suit.
Locklen doing very well here, freezing this waiver, this clam, and getting across. That can be kind of a tricky thing to do. Not required to do that. You can run and jump from the inside the save room and make it up there and do some wall jumps.
I've been clutching out the dark room there at the end of Eastern, and he's about to take on Armo, so we'll see if he works on trying to get that quick kill. Tries to set up for it. Meanwhile, Green Rupee over at the item before Speed Booster, and just a piece of heart at Speed Booster. He'll take it.
Very nice kill on Armos there from Ivan. Just getting a blue Rupee, though, for his troubles. And a 5-6 crystal. First one, 41 minutes in.
Well, first 5-6 crystal. He has completed Deep Sound as well. Of course. So that's 2 crystal dungeons done. So great progress for Ivan. Interesting that Locklen has found the lamp, though. So we'll see if that ends up playing a role, because a fire source can be really important in Link to the Past.
Alert! Locklen, be careful, please. Do not continue to wave. Don't do it.
Well, he wants the super pack because he doesn't have enough.
Okay.
And looks like he's going back. He's got his logic down. These guys are pros.
He's got it down, man.
He heard you.
I'm concerned because I have completely forgotten sometimes and gotten sad about it because I soft locked myself and had gone like all the way through the full Brinstar clear, and then I had to reset because I hadn't saved, lost all my progress. It was not a happy day.
All right, so now I think Locklen will be scratching his head, trying to figure out what's next. What's up next? I guess he has Dark Cross, maybe. In Hyrule
he has
Castle.
Not done Dark Cross. That's the only he did sequence break in Eastern, so he's done that one. He's already sequence broken up the mountain. So, you know what he does actually have he can do top of Red Tower with Ice Beam.
Oh, interesting.
So there's one item at the top of Red Tower, the Alpha Power Bombs, the original Power Bombs that you would grab in the vanilla game, sequentially. There's one item there that he can go and grab. But other than that, like the lamp doesn't really open up anything else for him. Ivan's sad because this catfish just gave him a red rupee after a death on the way here in the first place and backtracked all the way back.
Yeah, that's rough. Ivan's actually getting a little, hung up right now. I mean, he still has places to go, and he's doing it, but, with only the mitts and no hammer, getting access to the Dark World can be kind of annoying, kind of slow. You can't really get to this east part of the Dark World, unless you're going to Ice Palace, I guess, but we can't really do much there.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, so he has to kind of go all the way here to get to the Pyramid, Catfish, Palace of Darkness. So that death earlier was kind of costly, but at the same time, he knows that there could be some goods out here, and he does have the bow to get through Palace of Darkness. It is a pendant, though, and, pendant pod can be always a valuable thing, or some people might say that. It's not really where you want to be. 45 minutes in.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. And I mean, I've been knowing what we know about progression, flute and lamp. He's not really like this is a fine play for him to be making, in my opinion, because the lamp. Okay, so the flute is actually blocking a little bit more for Ivan because he could do some stuff in the Mire area and get into like lower Norfair. But
Mire might actually be like the next play for these guys if Quake is the required medallion, which Ivan does have. So, I mean, they could actually logically full clear Mire, which is really fascinating when we have Mire as a 5/6 crystal and Ivan has completed Eastern Palace as a 5/6 crystal.
Oh.
So there could be something good at Pyramid Fairy.
That's so crazy.
It's
You're right. Absolutely.
Really, really cool.
Oh man. All right, and there's that back of the cross room check there for Locklen. What's he gonna do? He's running out of options here. Like technically, he could still go to the Mire area, but there's nothing for him to do there without the Moon Pearl or some way to break bomb blocks in Super Metroid.
Where is he going? Going to the dam?
I wonder if he's going to farm for Zora. Still have not done Zora
that's
yet.
totally what he's doing. And he's at 71 rupees, and he gets 50 rupees per trip.
This is going to be like 9 farms for him.
Hey, I mean, Zora could have something. We still don't know what's there. I mean, honestly, it might be better if it doesn't. But just so he finds that Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. But we are delving into pod here on Ivan's side. I'm interested to see what we might find.
So far, a whole bunch of garb. Doing a nice death warp here with the spike, doing the dance with the spike. But he is going to be making some progression here. We're going to see another pretty tricky dark room. Requires memorization of this maze in order to get yourself through there. Get the 2 chests and get to the big chest. With all the Dodongos spitting fire at you. Can be pretty scary. Even when you know what you're doing, it's tough because you never know where the Dodongos are and when they're gonna start spitting fire at you.
Yeah, definitely. But looks like Ivan's making his way through. He wants to make sure he gets that big key before he heads to the back, so he's checking Vanilla Big Key here, which has Wave Beam.
Oh, so
interesting.
Logically now, Crocomire.
Oh goodness.
Oh man, this seed. This is a seed. Let me tell you, and I've seen my fair share of seeds. This is a seed.
The seed that just keeps on giving. Oh man, that's exciting. Okay. Maybe morph at Croc E or Croc Power Bombs.
Yeah, I mean, still, grapple location and the pantry location, that large room with the missile, those are sequence breakable with either a short charge or a green gate glitch, both of which are options for these players to do when they get there. But again, illogical to check those, so it would still be those 2 items now at Croc.
All right, Locklen is fully farmed up as Ivan continues through pod here in the dark rooms. Finds a compass and gonna grab as much cash along the way. This definitely makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
You paid 100 to get into pod, and you get a bunch of monies in this Rupee room. So, good time to farm, considering we haven't really found any big treasure trove yet.
Yeah, well, and he hasn't done Zora. Like, it's, Zora is a huge Rupee sink, and it's just always in the back of your mind, especially when, particularly for Ivan, he's done everything else in that area, including Catfish. The only thing left to go back for would then be Zora, and it's it's annoying to have that like looming in the back of your mind. Like, I still haven't done Zora. I still haven't done Zora. So sometimes it's good to just knock it out just to have peace of mind.
Definitely. So there's the big key in the harmless hellway. So he's gonna head over to the big chest. We might see a bomb jump here. That's exciting. From Ivan to get to this big chest. Really well executed.
Well, that was beautiful.
Map the reward, and here we go. Zora play from Locklen. What's it gonna be?
Drum roll, please. There's an invisible item and a blue boomerang. An invisible item for Io. We don't know what it is. Okay, so here's the situation Locklen is in. He's got like nothing to do. He needs to realize that he left the tavern unchecked, which has got his moon pearl.
Yep. That's all I think that's left.
Ooh! Wow. Okay, so now there's a morph, and I didn't mean to like cut you off there, but that's exciting. That's a good grab there for Ivan. So now he's just like gonna go into SM immediately. There's just no question. And
he will be able to find that Varia suit pretty quickly if he heads through Brinstar. So a great find for Ivan, but now the question is, where is Locklen going? Really need him to get there. He's going to the Mire area, which he will be a bunny here, so there's really not a lot he can do. He can like damage boost into the Mire shed and collect the items there, but that's illogical. He can go into lower Norfair, but he can't actually get the item there, so...
Yeah, So I think the only thing he could do there would be check the medallion requirement for Mire. But yeah, basically, if Ivan follows a traditional clear here of Super Metroid, doesn't go back into Link to the Past, he's going to get his Varia, he's going to get his lamp, and he's going to be back completely in logic. Even though technically Flute was the requirement to start all of that. We're going to see a cool spark here from Ivan, just going to fly all the way through the gauntlet.
Really nicely done. It's going to sink a lot of his health, but... you know, it gets you through there very quickly. You don't have to use any ammo, stuff like that. So it's very good. Locklen going back to the Mire area here. Let's see what he decides to do. We've discovered that Bombos is a required medallion there for Mire. That's something that we don't have and will be required.
Right. Yeah, and realizing he cannot get through these blocks. Can't even see what the item is.
Quick drops there from Ivan, rewarded with an E-Tank, so getting to refill, it's pretty nice. Now, interestingly, Ivan still hasn't picked up the flute, so that is an advantage that Locklen has right now, but Ivan may not need the flute to complete the game. So why is that?
The cool thing about combo exclusive right here is that really the only reason that you would need the flute at this point would be access to Mire. And as Locklen already so wonderfully showed us, there is an access point between the two games in the Mire area. So as soon as Ivan gets his is able to get into Lower Norfair from Super Metroid, he can just take that doorway into Mire and doesn't even need the flute to get there anymore. So, you know, like you said, that is an advantage for Locklen in terms of fast travel, which can, over the course of the whole randomizer, really hurt your time. It's not going to be something that Ivan really needs to check, and it's very likely that he's going to just end up checking that area, like when he goes to do Desert or something later, or goes into the Mire area and then mirrors to Desert and then checks it afterwards and finds the flute, you know. So it's like it's not a big deal for him.
So there's our first bottle there from Ivan. We saw Locklen scout that earlier, and Locklen is going to make that top of Red Tower play now with the Ice Beam in hand. So we will get to see that probably a little earlier than Ivan will check it, because more than likely he's just going to be doing a full clear of this Brinstar loop.
And we did mention before getting that blue bottle from the Crumble Bridge. Alu mentioned it very briefly. You know, you can just grab that bottle and escape out of the crumble blocks. But that is illogical. If you were to fail doing that, you would be soft locked without morph. But Ivan, even though he has morph, he did actually showcase how that is done. If anybody was watching his screen at the time. Locklen making it up that first part of Red Tower. Just got that one item here. We're seeing Ivan make sure he's always full up on power bombs in order to fully clear all. Brinstar is very power bomb heavy. When you don't have regular bombs, you use a lot of power bombs to check all the items. You know, going all the way through Brinstar, up through Blue Brinstar, back into Criteria, on your way to like wreck ship. Just tons and tons of power bombs. So 10 is like usually you can skate by. If you have like one other item to break, you know, bomb blocks like speed booster or screw attack or something, which he does have speed booster, so that is going to help preserve the power bomb. So 15 is absolutely safe. You're going to be fine. And 5 is just a huge pain. You're basically going to be leaving things behind.
All right, so top of Red Tower, moment of truth for Locklen.
As Ivan
various
grabs
suit
his
there.
area.
Yeah, various suit there for Ivan. So let's take a look and see what we got here. There's only one item collect, even though there are 2 items in this room. Just 3 bombs.
Oh man, that feels bad. When you go way out of your way to check one item location and you swear that it's that last place, and it's just not what you need, it feels bad.
It sure does, but let's hope that he can find his way back to the tavern. Just send him some good vibes.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
An
ether
medallion.
Not the medallion we need for Meyer.
Absolutely.
Maybe the one we need for Turtle Rock. Yeah. I've been doing just amazingly here with the execution in Brinstar and Pink Brinstar. He is knocking this stuff out very quickly. Has wave, can just get right through the wave gate.
Yep. Easy peasy. I did miss, apparently he's got a second sword. I didn't see where that was picked up.
Oh, interesting. I missed that as well.
Probably somewhere in one of these locations.
Mission Impossible, apparently. So, the,
Ooh!
Vanilla Charge!
You got him! Nice. Okay. Hey, that's really great. That just means, you know, this weight of on your mind of I got to make sure I'm like, you know, picking up supers and stuff still, it's just completely gone now. You know, obviously only having ice and wave isn't optimal, but you know that you can make it through the game.
All right, so Locklen is thinking, I think. He's kind of moving slowly through criteria here, trying to puzzle this out. Unfortunately, it's a mislocation, not like a big puzzle, but, you know, if he starts checking Kakariko again, he'll find it immediately, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. This is that typical, I don't know what to do strat, stare at the map. Whenever I do this, I visualize all the locations on the map, and I'm just like, I go through piece by piece, and I'm like, oh, he's going back to Kak, okay.
Is this it?
Oh, baby!
Go in the right direction! No!
Where are you going? Ah! Turn around!
Left!
Colder! Ah! No!
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I've been getting more health there in the green pipe, so getting pretty healthy, and, you know, with various suit, that could potentially lead to some sequence breaks for him. He could, you know, do lava dive or whatever. High jump with lava dive can be tricky, but could be a fun thing to see. Just a full heart there at the first missiles. And now we'll see what Locklen is up to. He's looking at norfair. Maybe he's thinking about that wave item. Hopefully not.
I certainly hope not. And see, that's what I'm talking about. There's those 300 rupees. So now Ivan has completely saved all farming time. Okay, technically you could consider like the pod rupees that he was getting a little bit of farming, but it pales in comparison to the amount of time that Locklen spent farming. So this sequence break, you know, even though, but Zora didn't end up having anything anyway. But you know, the point that I was making still. So you can see why sequence breaks can be super valuable. So
fortunately for Locklen, he is soft locked now.
Yep.
So
there's nothing that he can even do. Yeah, you need more for both of those items there. Actually, you can get the item beneath ice without morph by going through the croc area and shine sparking backwards.
But since he doesn't have wave,
that's again
not logical for him to gate glitch to get there. Yeah.
Where was wave? Where did Ivan get wave? I don't remember. Was it in Thieves, I think, or something?
Yeah, that sounds right. All right, Locklen, you got to get to Link to the Past first. That's the first step. Here we go. There's a green potion there at Old Mother Brain.
Yeah, and he already has a bottle, so he's got Sick Kid that he can go check now. But I don't think that he is.
That he doesn't have enough power bombs here, actually, to do the Criteria Supers location. So he just decided to spark up the climb there.
It's fine. He's just gonna get power bombs.
We'll have to leave that till later. Oh yeah, here at 2:30.
I mean, close enough. But yeah, that's just that feels bad. Usually, if you're looking at your power bomb count, you're gonna when you go down to beneath charge is where people are gonna farm up the power bombs there. But yeah, that's gonna be a location that he's gonna have to come back to later.
Ooh, setting up a spark to leave. I like it. Saying no to that bottle. All right, Locklen's getting warmer here again. Hopefully he just checks everything. That would be ideal. Here we go. Will he do it? There it is.
Oh, baby, let's go. Come on, Locklen. Let's go.
He's got the bombs out. Oh
no. Oh, man.
All right, so that is Dark World access for Locklen. We'll see what he does with it. Looks like he's going to jump into Village of Outcasts. He's a bit behind, but he does have that flute, so maybe he can get things done a little quicker. And he also has the lamp right now. Now, that's an item that I expect Ivan to find eventually as he, has the various suit and could head to Norfair, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way he's not getting it eventually. Like, I assume his progression is going to be going to Wreck Ship, clearing Wreck Ship, down Red Tower, checking X-Ray, going up through Crate, and then down into Norfair, where he will then probably full clear all of that stuff as well, and then he's going to find his... It's a typical route through SM at this point.
Ivan definitely leaving
as I
unturned, so he's going back for these Criteria Supers and having a little trouble with the spark. But he's trying to get there. He can also just jump up that shaft and check the item if he wants, but looks like he's doing this. There we go. Nice damage boost.
Yeah.
And immediate reset.
It's just instantly noped right out of there. So I can only imagine we were going to see him going into Wreck Ship, clearing all of that there. As we see Locklen deciding not to go into Thieves now, Looks like he's going to be doing this south route stuff, maybe, or maybe he's coming down here to do this the digging game and going back up to do dwarves. That seems interesting.
Yeah, putting off thieves is not necessarily a bad idea. I mean, we know the bow is there, and you know that might be pretty important for heading over to pod and getting that morph ball. But like, you know, going into thieves without the hammer can be a bit tricky. So putting it off isn't necessarily bad. And he does have the flute in the midst to be able to jump right back into the Dark World pretty quickly. So I like that he's going for density here on the overworld, and he is rewarded with space jump.
Right. And we did see something, excuse me, interesting from Ivan there. He actually space jumped up to check that middle ocean item and saw Spring Ball.
Ooh.
So that's a fun thing that you can do to not have to go down and check that item. I disagree with the choice in terms of speed. I think that it's faster to check it unless you have like high jump. I think it would have just been faster to check it from the upper area.
But now he has the information, and you know it was actually a major item there. So
the most major.
the most of the major items. Nice spark there to grab X-ray scope through that wreck ship main room. I like that swag. So now he has some time to decide, you know, what to do about that spring ball if he wants to collect it or not.
There's really only one correct answer. I might have a bone to pick with him if he chooses the wrong answer.
So no.
Yes.
Okay. So Locklen is swimming over after Hype Cave, and maybe we'll see him check out Pod, which could be really interesting, but it looks like it might be a Pyramid Catfish play.
I mean, without hammer and the bow, I can see why he's deciding not to.
Pretty big gamble, you know, missing some critical items for Link to the Past, so checking out the overworld, maybe finding one of those so that you can make progress somewhere. Definitely a solid play. Unfortunately, we know that all of this is just bad because of Ivan's already checked it. Really nice Fantoon fight there from Ivan. And with Speed Booster in hand, we can actually collect every single item here in the wreck ship.
Nothing worse than seeing an item at Wreck Ship Reserve, which requires Speed Booster, and not having Speed Booster. But nothing better than not having Speed Booster, seeing an item required at Wreck Ship Reserve, and then getting it immediately at Gravity.
I don't know. I'd argue. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I would argue that having a required item at GT Missile, not having Space Jump, feels just as bad.
That's true. I would say so, yes.
But, yeah, pretty much about the same feeling.
Ivan making his way through Wreck Ship, and we've got Locklen heading back to the Mire area now. Guess he's going to check the Mire shed. Still does not have a way to break through the blocks in Lower Norfair. That would have been a really interesting play to see him do that had he any sort of way to get through there. To see what he would get. We get the mirror. Wow, okay. So that's actually going to unlock quite some interesting things for him right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he can immediately check Checkerboard, which I think he might be doing. He could jump into Desert Palace right now, and he does have that fire source. He has the lamp. A little mirror bonk there, but he has the lamp, so he can actually complete Desert Palace. It is a pendant, but maybe that's the kind of gamble he needs in order to, you know, get back into this race. We'll see.
he knows that he's behind, or at least he has to assume that he is.
Right.
When you forget a location like that, and it's something so crucial as Moon Pearl, you need to assume that you are behind and that you need to make some kind of huge play, huge gamble to pull yourself back in the game.
Now, as it stands, Ivan still hasn't picked up the flute or that mirror. Those are items that I expect at least the mirror for him to pick up, but that's only, you know, once he lava dives through Lower Norfair, and that might not be attractive if he doesn't get gravity. Depends where that gravity suit is, honestly. If it's here in Desert, could be really interesting. But looks like Locklen did find 2 items in Desert already, so he's out of here. And might see him head over to Checkerboard now. Perfect.
Yeah.
Some more information. The other big thing that's opened up with the mirror is Tower of Hera, which again is also a pendant. We do have a couple other locations in the overworld, like Graveyard Ledge and K45 or South of Haunted Grove, as a lot of people call it. So some interesting options. Now we also have the first chested swamp. That's
what I was thinking. So as soon as he got mirror, I was like, that first chested swamp, let's go. There's that final bottle. We know.
Fun fact, Locklen did win one of his tournament matches against Lack Attack by checking the first chest of swamp and finding the hammer there earlier in this tournament. So maybe he'll go for that gamble again. We'll see.
All right, Ivan making the correct decision here. Grabbing Spring Ball. Not even using it immediately.
Well, he's kind of used it there. The problem is he doesn't have high jump.
The first jump he didn't do it. Where it was actually could have been helpful. Anyway, I jest. But just a couple items left here for Ivan to check. 2 more. We're gonna see him go down a red tower and into Norfair, presumably. Whereas Locklen now able to do this dwarf check much faster than Ivan.
And interestingly, we could even see
Yep.
a magic bat check with that mirror and mitts. That could be really fascinating because he did reset with the mushroom. I kind of want to see it, but looks like he's going to be fluting away here. Maybe he's saving his portal and he'll come back.
Perhaps. Yeah, powder or it's either hammer or a mirror and mitts will get you through. You can mirror mitts behind the behind that hammer peg, which allows you to do that. Ivan being a sneaky ninja, getting around those pirate or the worker robots.
Yeah, those are really cool.
And getting a fat 3 hundo at gravity.
So overall, Wreck Ship looking to be a bit of a bust here.
What are you talking about? It had Spring Ball.
And what logically does that unlock for us?
Absolutely.
Got him.
Everything.
Got him.
What's great though in hard mode is Spring Ball is actually an item that can be required by logic, which I think is really wonderful for quite a few things, actually, not just like some niche situations. There are some niche situations, but also like it can be, it's actually not an uncommon occurrence. Anyway, back to Alu with relevant information.
Well, looks like we're going to be checking beta power bombs and alpha power bombs as Locklen grabs Quake there in Skull Woods. There's the magic cave.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if we've seen Bumper Cave. Not sure if Ivan checked it out.
I think he did, because I know he went and or did he? No, he did.
Maybe
no.
on his way to Catfish, he did. That would make sense.
Yeah, he did go up that way because I remember he was jumping in the. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
Well,
I'm sure he did.
I think Locklen's about to check it out for us, so
There we go. You know what?
we'll take a look, and with his mirror, he can check out Graveyard Ledge, which is kind of exciting. Yeah, there's an arrow upgrade up there.
All right. No need for that garb.
No, and I mean, Locklen can't even collect it at the moment, so...
Correct. But yeah, it looks like we're going to see this Graveyard Ledge, and I think Locklen's done Graveyard Ledge already, because that was one of the things he was checking before he got Moon Portal. Yeah. Okay, yes, I'm sorry, King's Tomb.
Yep. Now we are seeing an X-ray check here from Ivan. He does have space jump, so I can get you through here pretty quickly, doing some fancy damage boosting to get on through. Nice. Just power bombs there at the Graveyard Ledge.
Ooh!
Double take on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
High jump boots. Ooh. Now what does high jump boots do for us?
High jump boost just makes Super Metroid super duper fast. Especially for a player with such a massive amount of experience with this game as Ivan, it allows you to just move through the game super quickly. Logically speaking, it's not opening a whole lot more than what's already been unlocked with like space jump, for example. So
right,
it's purely just a movement convenience item, but a very good one.
It speeds things up like crazy. It really does. Yeah, and it may help Ivan get to Meyer a bit quicker, honestly. He may be thinking about a lava dive soon. Right. Because even though that's not logical, you need gravity in order to get there. Like, with high jump, it's a lot easier. It's just a lot simpler. Ooh, Ice Rod at Spazer.
Nice rod, dude.
Pretty nice rod. Doesn't unlock anything, but is one of the hardest items to find in the end game if you're just hunting for it. So it's just nice to have that out of the way.
Right. It's just one of those things where it could literally be anywhere except for on Trinex, or like in GT if Trinex is required. TR, I mean, is required.
Nice triple super crate entrance there from Ivan. And we're going to see 3 item locations here at Crade, and another of our Super Metroid bosses to take down. Meanwhile, Locklen is heading up the mountain. Now, we don't have the hammer, so we can't really do East Death Mountain right now, which has a ton of items. We still haven't found Hookshot or Hammer, which would really open that up. But Tower of Hera, while it's a pendant, could still have some good value.
Again, this is one of those plays that Locklen is likely thinking he's got to be making to get himself back in this.
There's our first item, a missile pack. Tower of Hera is the green pendant. So that does open up another item at Sahasrara. And did you see what Ivan picked up there at Varia?
Another sword.
That is really nice. Tempered Sword just cuts through things in Link to the Past.
Almost
so
like butter.
Almost, but not quite.
Anyway, one item left in Hera. Hopefully Locklen finds it here in this next chest, so avoids having to bomb jump. Not that it's particularly difficult. Hopefully finds it because going down to the basement is just awful. No one wants to find their last item in the basement.
Yeah, I did find the key, so just a few more item locations here. There's the big chest and then Moldorm himself.
Oh, 50-50.
50-50.
Get your guesses in.
But killing Moldorm is still totally fine here, because green pendant, and could have another item, so no problem. Alright, so Ivan is now making the descent into Norfair. So we may see some additional checks here, over at Ice Beam, the rest of High Jump, and, like the rest of Norfair Reserve. We might see a dip over to Crocomire, or maybe we'll see him dive right down to Lower Norfair.
Yeah, so in terms of like least amount of backtracking and like routing efficiency, the route you want to take is just going straight down to Lower Norfair like right now and doing all of the Upper Norfair stuff when you leave, because it spits you out right at wave and you can pop up to speed and then do the reserve and all that stuff is just right there for you. So we'll see what Ivan decides to do. Now, the argument for not doing that and doing it before Lower Norfair is you might end up finding something that really helps you clear Lower Norfair faster, like maybe, or more safely, like Screw Attack or Gravity Suit, or something else.
Maybe Plasma.
Plasma would be another good one. But we know most of the items in that area, or about half of them, I guess, and we know that they are not at all helpful.
Looks like Ivan's going to be betting on Croc here soon, more than likely, though. He is heading down to below ice, and he'll be going right by Croc, so we'll see if he makes a conscious decision to skip it or not. There's the last item on Moldorm, just a missile pack. So 2 missile packs in Hera, but there's the green pendant too, which unlocks 1 more at Sahasrahla. So we'll see if Locklen cashes that in pretty quickly, or if he'll save that for later. I mean, he could do it on his way to Palace of Darkness, which could be an interesting play as well.
Right. Because again, we know he needs to go there to get that Morph Ball in the Dark Maze.
I think he wants to go cash that in immediately, so this is an exciting check here.
And I mean, again, it makes sense, in the mindset of taking a gamble, pulling yourself ahead. This is what would need to be done, If you're going to make this gamble, you got a full commit.
Yeah.
Although if his plan is to go into pod right afterwards, it would have been, just hit the warp up first. But unfortunately, just a heart piece.
But he couldn't even do the 5 warp. He has to go from
oh, you're right, because he doesn't have the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. It's really unfortunate, the route there. I think we might see him jump into Thieves, though. Nice Croc fight from Ivan. And looks like he's going to be exploring this area. And I think this is good for Locklen, because it's going to get him moving towards that bow, which will maybe put Pod and Eastern on his mind. To get that morph. That morph is absolutely required.
Yes.
Ivan demolishing that blue door with a super missile.
Blam!
And saving it up, because if you don't find anything down at Croc, you can just reset here. And, kind of a quick warp back up to the rest of Upper Norfair.
And you can just see the awesome little things that Ivan does, to save time. You can tell that he's a seasoned speedrunner of this game. He was turning around while waiting for that door to open on top of it, maintaining his fall speed so that instead of starting your falling speed from 0 as soon as the door opens and falling through, he can maintain maximum fall speed. So as soon as the door moves from underneath him, he just falls at maximum speed, saving a handful of frames here and there. But really, really cool tech that I appreciate.
Really nice execution through the room to get to that grapple item. Just missiles, but he's getting through this really quickly.
Ooh! Oh. Wow! Okie dokie. Whatever I was trying to say there, I don't know. But Fire Rod.
That is a hot rod. So that is absolutely required, and really fascinating item because we have found Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Red Cane, Mitts. We don't have a way to get to Turtle Rock, but that could have some value. Maybe our
I mean, the hammer
maybe
will...
our gravity suit. Hammer can't be in. We do need hammer for Turtle Rock.
I was just gonna say, like, it's gonna solve both the issues of getting there and getting into TR once Ivan gets mirror at the Meyer shed, which is likely going to be pretty soon here, assuming he does dip down into lower Norfair. I can only imagine that's what he's doing, but it looks like he is going to clear the upper Norfair stuff first, which, again, like I said, is a legitimate thing to do. You know, the thought process is, I'm going to get something that's going to make lower Norfair safer or faster up here. So I'm just going to check these before I go. And he saw his lamp. There it is.
So both fire sources down in Norfair. I guess that makes sense. It's like a heated area.
Absolutely.
Good place to store your fire sources.
It's written in the it's logical. It's in the logic.
Is it now?
Absolutely not. Do not. I was trying to make a joke. Nobody leave here and said, while Anaconda said that it's logical for the fire sources to be in Norfolk. No, that is not.
I know. That's what I'm saying from now on. But it's in the lore.
The lore, dude. So. Zach knows. Absolutely.
All right.
Anyway, back to business.
Looks like Norfair Reserve just having the blue cane there for Ivan. So nice safety item, but we already found the cape, so it doesn't really unlock anything logically, but still a nice find, good check. Honestly, collectively, we're not that far away from Go Mode here, Wild. We do need the hammer, which is a really important link to the past item.
Yep.
We know where the mirror is for Ivan, so because Locklen has it right now. You don't necessarily need flute, but it might be required logically, but we also know that that's Agana. And Hookshot is required, because we do have Swamp Palace as a required dungeon. And while Ivan does know hovering, you still need that logically to complete the seed. And Gravity Suit, I think, is our final item that we need. Oh, no, we also need Bombos for Meyer. So
like 4 unaccounted for items. Plus
4 unaccounted for.
Yeah. But yeah, that's not too many remaining. There was something
1 hour 30 in, not bad.
There was something I wanted to add on to what you said, and now I don't remember what it was. I'll think of it and say it. But there's Locklen's first crystal, and Peebs there for Ivan.
Yeah, that's actually a location we hadn't seen yet over at Wave.
Right.
But he's plenty stocked on power bombs right now. And I think we're likely going to see a lower Norfair excursion, but we'll see.
I'll be very surprised if we don't. Like, incredibly.
Yeah, he wants his lamp. Makes sense. Gonna go grab that. And he's probably hoping when he goes down to the Mire area that he can get into Misery Mire, but that's gonna be kind of an unfortunate point here. Gonna take a save. Be safe about this lava dive. Makes sense.
I mean, just believe that Bombos is at Screw Attack. Or better yet, Bombos is at GT Missile.
GT Missile?
He's not
Ooh.
Going. What?
Save too.
Why?
That's really interesting. Oh, he's doing Lava Missile. He hasn't done that yet. That's why he saved.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You know.
There's a tunic there. See ya. Okay. Oh, I like this from Locklen. He's heading up to Palace of Darkness with that bow. And we'll be able to actually see all that area lit up. But should be on a good path to Morph Ball now. And likely going to see him finish Eastern as well with Mirror. So that's kind of a nice little time save to knock both of those things out at once. Yeah,
that's the dream there. Comboing the dungeons with, like Pod Eastern, Hera Desert, or Mire Desert. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's all good.
I do, actually. But here we go. Here we go. We've got Lava Dive here from Ivan, about to do Karonic Boost, but then figures out that you can't do that without gravity. Gonna do a ball bounce here. Can't do that with speed, so everything that he's been doing is absolutely fine. Don't worry.
All intentional.
All intentional. Even taking that hit there from the Namahe.
All planned. And easy peasy. Down we go to lower Norfair.
Down we go. So he's not gonna find gravity down here. Actually, he may.
He can.
No, he could.
He can.
No, he could because
Yeah,
we can
because
get there
of-
from with flute. Right.
We can get there with flute and mitts. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And is going the vanilla way, the logical way, to get to Golden Chorizo, which is the next mini boss that we're gonna see. A lot of the enemies, including Golden Chorizo, this mini boss, do tons of damage down here. And with various suit, like I think Golden Chorizo does like 80 damage a pop every time you get hit by him. So
It's
you have to be pretty careful.
Yeah, it's not negligible. Basically, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, Ivan has a lot of tanks. He's a seasoned runner of the game,
What?
and it's rewarded, especially having charge and ice and wave.
That's so good. The timing on that impeccable. Wow. Oh, it's serendipitous, you might say. Oh man, that's so good.
It looks as though Ivan has found that magic pixel where you won't be able to get hit by Gold Chorizo, and hey, Plasma just taking him out. Easy.
Oh, it was Pod, which is where Wave is. That's not
okay.
not Thieves. And Rip Bombos at Screw Attack, but that's okay.
Maybe we'll find it at Mickey Mouse, and then he'll just backtrack.
Right. Well, what we are gonna hope is that he goes into the shed, which is good.
Yeah, and then probably we'll clear desert. At least jump in and check it out. But is a pendant. The thing is, Ivan does not have the flute, so getting back to this area can be very difficult, very time-consuming. He might also check Agana's cave with that mirror, which could get him the flute.
Yeah,
so that is an opportunity as well.
Locklen getting super close to this morph. He's got to go down to Harmless Hellway to get this big key, which he is.
Yeah, I have to say, you know, Ivan's routing and like darkroom navigation and all that kind of stuff has really paid off in this seed.
Absolutely.
Like so much. You can kind of see it. I mean, obviously Locklen got, you know, slowed down by not finding the Moon Pearl, but like Ivan made up so much time by not having Lamp to get Morph. Like the logic was crazy.
It was a huge amount of time, you know, like it was just really, really good. And so now he's, you know, back entirely within the logic. He's just good to go. Smooth sailing.
Yeah, that lava dive actually puts him like back in logic after finding that flute. It's really interesting how
doing the illogical thing
went. Yeah,
put him back into logic more quickly than not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Locklen's got his morph. I'm assuming he's probably just gonna go right into SM now.
Well, looks like he's gonna finish up Eastern.
Oh yeah,
makes
that's
a lot of sense.
Of course, yes, it does make more sense. I was testing you.
Crystal. Yes.
Make sure you were paying attention to me, because as we all know, you never listen to what I have to say.
What was that? I don't know what Wild's talking about, but it looks like Ivan will do the desert dip here. Gonna grab his little baby shield. Oh, I guess he'll upgrade to fire shield. Nice. And grab his 20 rupees on the right side of desert. So probably not going to end up finishing Desert, but if we do find the hammer, we can actually pull the item out of the pedestal, which can be anything other than hammer. So that could be an exciting thing. We haven't even found the book to be able to read that pedestal, so I know a lot of people are excited about pedestals, but that is something that maybe, if that holds true, could get Locklen, you know, a little closer. I mean, he's making good progress. He's getting his second crystal. He's got a pendant up on Ivan, but, you know, he's down some Super Metroid bosses in progression. So,
right.
There's still definitely a lot for him to search for.
So that plasma is actually going to make this lower norfair very, very safe. Not only is it going to make a Ridley kill really, really easy breezy, but you can also do what's called hitboxing a lot of these enemies, because these enemies in lower norfair, as Ali was saying, are, you know, do a bunch of damage. They're also really strong, and they don't freeze or die in one plasma shot. So what you can do is hitbox them, and when you shoot them with plasma beam, you can actually run through them during their invulnerability frames without them damaging you. So you're very likely going to see Ivan doing that with the Deskigas and the Red Key Hunter. And nice Armos there for Locklen.
Nice red Armos skip there.
Ivan's got to be careful not to fall down those crumbles. All right.
Yeah, that can be a costly fall. Here's one of the more dangerous rooms here in lower norfair, the amphitheater, where the acid is rising and things can get out of control if you fall down there, but with space jump, you make quick work of it. And I'm really interested to see what Locklen does with this morph ball. It looks like he's going straight for norfair. I kind of like this play. You know, like, go for the bosses, go for Kraid. Just, like, kind of get things done, and then maybe search for your items. Because you gotta catch up. It's the fact of the matter. I've been in his same position before, and you gotta make the plays. You gotta decide what to skip, what not to skip.
Right, and I think it helps psychologically too to just like start knocking out a bunch of boss progression as well. You know, you can just start. You can really just be like, okay, I've got like two SM bosses down, and like, you know, 3 or 2, you know, each of the past bosses. You know, and then you just start like knocking them all out and going really fast. Nice double KO from Ivan. Woo.
That is a very difficult thing to do, and it also kind of lowers your health a good amount, so he has to be a bit careful here. Looks like he's going to get some health off of these metal pirates and a good number of supers. See how he handles this Ridley fight if he goes for supers, which can be really fast DPS, or if he uses the full charge wave plasma ice combo. Looks like we're going to get 2 bosses simultaneously here in Super Metroid.
Ivan showing us just how ridiculously strong this charge ice wave plasma combo is, and it take down Ridley in 20 shots. Damageless. Oh, just kidding.
That's on you.
It was like simultaneous enough that I feel like I could safely say that it was not me.
That was still a really, really solid fight.
It was very good. Yes.
Locklen taking down Kraid here, having a little stand-up party with Kraid there, and rewarded with the Master Sword.
Got there. And now I think the other one was like, oh yeah, we said it was Mission Impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yep.
Which I think might have been one of the only things in Brinstar, honestly. So if Locklen decides to skip all of Brinstar, that might actually work in to his advantage. I know we found high jump at X-Ray. I think that's something that he's also missing.
The Bryn Star skip.
The old classic Bryn Star skip. One of the harder cells for Locklen might be getting down to Crocomire, where we know the Fire Rod is. That's an important one. And I think Ice Rod was at Spazer, which is really close by, so we'll see if he ends up grabbing that. These next couple item locations could be, you know, make or break for Locklen. He's going down the elevator. I mean, you don't need Ice Rod immediately, but that's got to happen at some point. Do you also want to point us over to Ivan's screen here? He's got not a lot of health right now, so he has to be really careful in these rooms. The Key Hunters deal tons of damage. These Namahays do a lot of damage. He has some in reserves. I don't know how much, but he's just got to be really careful. He's using some pseudo-screw tactics to be able to get through here. Pseudo-screw the rocks. All right, and he does have, you know, the good beam combo to be able to get through the Three Musketeers here. So I'm not too concerned about it, but he just has to play it a little safe.
Right, and I mean, there's that final sword. And so we can see some hitboxing, or we're just going to see him do a couple of charge shots to kill these Key Hunters and just be extra safe. So fast, so safe. Knocking them out, easy breezy.
I think Locklen might be making that Crocomire play.
Gonna get his Fire Rod.
Great. That'll feel good.
And here he goes.
Now I'm curious what Ivan's next move is going to be. We're still missing a few key items in Link to the Past. Hammer and Hookshot are very key items in Link to the Past. And Gravity, you know, opens up the last area of the game, Meridia, in Super Metroid. So, gotta pick your poison here with some of the locations.
Right, absolutely. I know Quake obviously was in Skullwoods. Did the second item get found?
I'm not 100% sure. So there
that's
might be another item there. Yeah, it's a great crystal dungeon to check right now. We still can't get into Mire. We can't even get over to Turtle Rock at the moment.
That's
we
so
can check
much
the first
items
chest
on Death Mountain.
I know. There's the first chest in Swamp. There's all the pendants that we've seen from Locklen and Ivan combined. I think Ivan hasn't been up to Hera yet, so that is on the table.
Yeah, because he only just got his mirror.
Yep, and then he has some mirror locations here in Dark World, which he might be checking. But I think he's going to do that Skullwoods check first. And then there's Ice Palace. Ice Palace is the weird one here, because you don't have the hammer. But hammer can be inside of Ice Palace.
Right. There's still that one item in Thieves blocked by hammer as well that we
That's a key. It's a small key.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ivan going to activate his flute.
And it's check Sick Kid.
Also
actually.
checking Sick Kid. Well, I hope he activates his flute. That's what I thought he was doing. But yes, Sick Kid has not been checked yet. His myriad bottle.
Oh! Okay.
No way! All right.
Wow.
So that clears some things up. He's going to need to activate his flute now, though, to get there.
Well,
in
I mean,
reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, in a reasonable amount of time, basically. Hopefully, he'll remember. But him doing what he's doing right now makes me think that he might not be. But I think we might see a magic bad glitch now. This is exciting.
Ooh. Locklen showing those gametes what for, shine sparking through them.
Well, Ivan rages away.
So how does this work?
So if you activate the red cane and then switch over to the mushroom and activate it like on the frame after you get out of the pause menu, you can do a fake powder with it, and you can actually do this. You can't have any magic. That's a really important thing. So that's why you saw him waste all his magic there with the fire rod, just to kind of get rid of it quickly. Speaking of fire rod, there it is for Locklen. And yeah, looks like we didn't really get anything worth there for Ivan, but at least he's just knocked something out. If he finds the powder down the line, then he knows he doesn't have to come back for this, which is really nice.
Yeah, so it is a cool thing. You know, and I think you can activate it anywhere. Do like a fake powder, and like if you're low on health, if you're hurting for health, you could like powder an anti-fairy. Get yourself if you don't have the powder and you not using any magic, or you don't have any magic.
Only downside, I would say, oh, nice spark there from Locklen.
Right into
right into the ceiling or whatever. The only problem is you have to drain your magic to do it. So Ivan's going into Skull Woods right now with no magic, and you really do need magic in order to get through. There's some pots that he can grab magic from, but he just has to be cognizant of that right now.
Right. And no, he does have a blue potion though as well.
That's true.
So he could use that. So he should use it like now.
He's about to have a rude awakening if he doesn't. I think he'll realize when he gets to this.
Oh, you switched. You didn't even
got him.
There. Oh, he's even got a green
one.
one. Oh, even better. Okay. So there might still be an item here. I don't think the big key was found.
I believe you're right. But he's going to rush the boss. Always a good strategy, because if you find the item on the boss, then you're just done. You can just leave.
Right, you don't have to do that long trek all the way through that first part of this area to get that one chest there. Both items were found in Skullwoods. Okay.
Well, maybe this is just giving him a chance to think and, figure out what else he's doing. Sometimes you just want to clear something that you have to clear. So it's done. You don't have to worry about it. And you can think about what your next best move is.
Right. You're still working towards your goal. So it's a fine play. And Locklen clearing up the last of his norfair checks that he was unable to do earlier because of a lack of morph. We know that there's a blue cane in here, along with a power bomb packet wave. Oh, there was no blue cane. Oh, yes, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Man, where is the hammer? It's such an important item for Link to the Past. It's crazy, but I mean, it could be in Mire. I think that's where Ivan is going right now. And oh Lord, I just thought of another place that can be wild.
Let's hear it. I'm curious.
The Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and what are the implications of that? Why am I getting so excited?
That means that we may have to beat Aghanim in order to get the hammer at the Pyramid Fairy, because, once you get the 5-6 crystals, the only way to get to the Pyramid Fairy with the big bomb is by mirroring in front of the castle and, walking across. You can't hammer the pegs to get to the Pyramid Fairy with the big bomb. So, this could be exciting. This could be spicy.
Oh,
and
man.
You just have to, do Aghanim. It's just a really annoying thing that you have to do in order for that to happen. So,
and that's just a whole dungeon for 2 checks that just take forever to do. It's just no one wants to do that.
But another good candidate is here in Mire. So
that's true. But if there was ever a play for Locklen to make, that would be it.
But he's got to check Sick Kid first. and he's got to get the bombos in order to get in. It's very key. I think we might see Locklen head over to Skullwoods though, and maybe Ice Palace could be a good gamble for him too.
Yeah.
Picks up the blue mail there. Pretty nice pickup. Just keys so far in Mire. There are 2 items available in Mire, and then of course, as we mentioned, the Pyramid Fairy, which is a bit of a trek. There's the big key. Still missing those items. So Ivan's not messing around. He's just gonna go ahead and check this vanilla big key location.
I like this.
Being thorough in combo is actually pretty rewarding, I would say, overall.
Yeah.
Just kind of get... Oh! Not that thorough. But...
all blocks pushed.
All blocks must be pushed. But, yeah. Because if you leave something behind in combo, you know, like that Moon Pearl, it takes you a while to get back to it. So, it's good on Ivan to make these checks.
There are just so many more locations to be checking.
Is this the Ice Palace play? Is this it? Is this happening?
Oh, no.
It's going into SM. Maybe maybe Wreck Ship.
This is the Brinstar. This is the Brinstar, not skip. It's the Brinstar skip.
Well, he's skipping 230. Oh, no, he's going. Man, I really want to see a hammer in Pyramid Fairy now. I think that could be pretty exciting. Makes you really think outside the box.
That's just you know, what's funny is that was something that I was gonna bring up earlier, and just as a joke, you know, as something just like, oh yeah, it's not gonna happen, but you know, it's a funny thing.
Here we are.
But here we are,
almost 2 hours in with no hammer.
Oh man,
there's one of the items in Mire. Arrow upgrade. Finally, Ivan found one of them. Could be another item here.
Gravity.
Ooh. That's huge.
Hello, Meridia.
I mean, that's gotta be Ivan's next stop. That's gotta be his next stop. How many items are in Meridia, Wild? Correct answer is 18.
I was getting there. I had to count. I had to count.
Counting.
I just don't know off the top of my head.
I was trying to help. So,
are there actually? Wait.
I believe so. That's what I was told by somebody. Otherwise, I was lied to. I know there's at least one at the beach.
Yes, 18.
There you go.
No. No, that's not correct. Hang on. I gotta recount. I demand a recount.
No hanging chads. Yeah, we'll see. Either way, that's a lot of items. There's around 20 items in Meridia.
There are a lot of items.
Alright, let's check this Viddy fight out. Doing a really good job. Just knocking them with arrows. Alright. And that is 4 crystals for Ivan. Still on the hunt for a couple of Link to the Past items, but is in SM Go mode. Thanks to that gravity suit find. And jumping back into Lower Norfair?
To reset.
Oh,
Yeah,
to reset. For the save. I see. Could have just saved and quit and then reset. But he does get a full refill here at this ship. So I kind of like the play for just getting the health back.
Right.
Just being, like, really cognizant of what's going on. Locklen's definitely doing a good job of, you know, making good work of this blue Brinstar loop. But he's unfortunately a bit behind on some progression because he did miss that Moon Pearl earlier. So we do know that there is a sword at Mission Impossible that he's missing. So hopefully he can get that, and that can help his Link to the Past progression. But
well, the other thing too, there was a bottle at the Crumble Bridge, which I don't believe he has a bottle yet. Which he needs to get Bombos.
Okay. I know there was at least one in Lower Norfair, I believe.
There's one in Lower Norfair. There was one in Wreck Ship. There was the Crumble one, and then
I think he's going up that way. So let's hope.
I know we've seen all 4. Ivan has come across all 4. He left a couple behind.
There was one at Bombs, I think, actually. So he
the other one? Oh, he might have gotten that one.
He may have picked it up now, yeah. No, but he went down.
Brain. That's what it was. Old Mother Brain.
I know there was one at Bombs as well, because I remember Ivan sparked away from it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so Locklen's gotta have one. He's gotta have one.
Hopefully, yeah. He's got to have at least the Old Mother Brain one if he didn't go back up for Bombs.
All right, but here we go. See some Meridia here.
This is exciting. Doing the short charge down here is very difficult.
Now, you know what they say about Meridia?
There's 18 items in it.
There's no efficient way to do Meridia.
It's got some really good movement items to get through Super Metroid, though. Basically all of them. Like, it doesn't have screw attack, but you don't really need it. You normally don't when you're playing, you know, like any percent or 100%. I guess 100% probably most relevant for this kind of clear. I'm still hoping for that Pyramid Fairy. Still holding out hope.
That would be pretty great.
With hookshot on pedestal.
Oh, baby.
But anyways, well, it'll just have to be seen. There's so many items here in Meridia, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those things turns up. Really interesting, like, reverse routing this pink Brinstar section. I think it's...
Yeah, it's not something that you see very often.
I think it's cool. No luck in Watering Hole. Is that a little CWJ off that grapple? I think it totally was.
It's a little more difficult to tell with Space Jump, because it could have just been a Space Jump.
Fair enough.
The way you're going to tell is if there's, like, the dust that comes off of whatever they... If there was dust, then yes, if it was a CWJ. If there was no dust, then no, it was just a Space Jump.
Gotcha. Got 2 more items here at Aqueduct. While Locklen's about to get that Tempered Sword.
All right.
Ooh,
Grapple.
grappling beam. Does that even unlock anything wild?
Absolutely. My boy. Shack Tool.
Best digging game.
Best digging game.
Or worst. Oh, so slow.
Checking the
Ivan's
sand bits before
down there, yeah.
doing Dragon.
Well, he did save, so he may reset here. Just check the one, but looks like he's gonna head on over to old Shack Tool first.
Oh, Shacky boy. Diggy boy.
Do me
Our
a favor,
boy.
Ivan, and let's
Ivan?
let's properly dispose of our Shack Tool after
Ivan?
after operation.
If you know which side of your bread is buttered, just look at how adorable he is. He's just like having a ball, digging through the dirt, the sand. It's just like his life's purpose. He's stuck in that room, going around in circles, unable to fulfill his life's purpose, and you allow him to do that, and he's so happy. Look at how happy he is.
I'm just trying to put him out of his misery.
He's
That
full
does not
of
sound
joy.
like doesn't sound too amazing.
Full of joy and happiness, he is. Missiles. Protecting he's like, here, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Or something.
Okay. All right, so we'll know for sure if Locklen picks up this bottle here at the Crumble Bridge.
And it is a blue, so I'm
going on.
sure
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll grab it.
It's a nice safety.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're approaching Bot Woon here. We're seeing Ivan. He looked like he wanted to equip X-Ray because might be doing something cool here. What is this?
This is X-ray buffering. So as you can see, during X-ray, the beam, everything freezes. However, the invulnerability frames of the enemies continue to run. So you can use that and abuse it by leaving your one plasma shot inside the hitbox of bosses like Botwoon, Fantoon, and Dragon, and kill them in one round, one shot, very, very quickly.
Ooh, he's going for full halfy, it looks like. Will it happen?
Looking really good.
Looking really good.
Nailed it.
There it is. Oh, baby. We did also find the shovel there at Botwoon E-Tank. We're going to be seeing these precious missiles here. Just a big 20. And probably going to employ that same microwave strategy, X-ray buffering, for Dragon.
I've got like 40 missiles. I'm just going to use our 40 supers. I'm going to use supers to blow these things up. No big deal.
No problem.
And going for a double frame perfect trick. A flash suit. Unfortunately does not get it.
What's interesting about Locklen's route is he can scout those gauntlet items. There he goes. And when you see Samus stand up like that, then you know that Dragon's dead.
The reason for that is the game intentionally forces you into a standing position. It had something to do with the fact that you could do the grapple kill. There was some reasoning for that. Because of that, they needed to like force stand you afterwards, after Dragon dies. So that's why like if you crouch and you're doing the X-ray buffering, when you stand, you know that she's dead.
So Ivan is just a handful of checks away from full clearing Super Metroid.
Meridia is the
crazy.
only area left.
Mm-hmm. If we don't find the hammer or the hookshot soon, you know, it's buried in ice or like at Pyramid Fairy. Like, like what else do we even have? I don't even know.
Oh, there's the shovel that he grabbed.
Shovel. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so that. But then you're right though. The ice or Pyramid Fairy, basically. First chest in swamp still available.
Oh, good point. Fair point.
Or like, yeah, that's like it.
It's just plasma left.
Just plasma. Yeah.
Looks like Locklen will be heading to Criteria Power Bombs and more than likely to the wreck ship. Oh, he looks like he wants to spark through Gauntlet.
Locklen trying to do this spark here can be pretty tricky. You don't have it, but because you have to fall so far when sparking or when getting the charge from up here, you've got to be pretty quick about activating that spark.
Oh, there he goes, and he opened the door, so he gets the swag spark there. Plasma coming up short. There is that shovel, of course, and we've already seen the bottle fetch quest pay off, so maybe we'll have another one.
But yeah, I believe those are the only 4 things remaining: ice, first chest in swamp, shovel, and Pyramid Fairy. All of which are pretty awful.
Yeah, I think Ivan still does have Tower of Hera.
Oh, that's right, he does.
For himself, but we know that it's not progression.
Right.
Unless, I guess, hookshot's at pedestal.
Yeah, and as of now, that's the only thing that could be there that we need, because we only need the hookshot and the hammer left.
Yep, and hammer is required to complete Palace of Darkness, which is one of our pendants to collect the pedestal. So, be interesting to see where Ivan goes next. But he will be up on the mountain if he decides to take the Norfair portal, so he might just jump right up to Hera and check it out.
Yeah, he might do Hera. I can only assume shovel is going to be a very quick check after that, like a flute to 4 shovel check. And then if it were me, I'd probably, like, just because I'm right there, maybe just dip into the first chest of swamp and then do like ice and make
again, without hammer, you have to start at the Kakariko portal, which is really annoying.
I keep forgetting.
For being able to check like first chest and swamp and stuff. And that's how you get to the big bomb in the first place after you beat Aghanim. So it's a really taxing thing. Like, is the first chest swamp better than Ice Palace? Probably not, from like a lucrative standpoint. Like that, I don't know. It's a hard call.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. So Locklen coming back here. He's already been up here to check the top of Red Tower way back in the day.
Yeah, Morphless, but now he's back with Morph. He wants to check the back. He's being pretty thorough. Still getting his good checks in.
He's not leaving anything behind this time.
And we will be seeing Ivan clear this dungeon because it is the green pendant. We know it's bad. Like, it doesn't lead to anything unless it's required for pedestal. But the green pendant is not worth. But he will probably do it because he's running out of locations. At least convenient ones. Oh no! That's a 2-floor drop, Ivan. Locklen, importantly, about to get some high jump boots here. That's fantastic. And hopefully we'll get Ice Rod shortly. Alright.
So I like how Ivan set himself up in the proper position to not even need to bonk, and bonks anyway.
Well, safety strat. Let's just be safe. You don't want to... After falling 2 floors, you want to fall 2 floors again?
I'm like 99% sure he was on the closest pixel to falling. And it's just funny to me.
That's fair enough.
Because I don't even do the bonk method anymore, personally. I always just set it... Because I just assume that I'm never going to have boots, and I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah, so nice that they found those boots so early.
Yeah, like super early.
There's the green pendant for Ivan. He knows he doesn't need to go to the basement. Locklen about to pick up that ice rod here at Spazer. So, I mean, other than Gravity and Bombos, you know, he's starting to catch up, but he still needs a few Super Metroid bosses.
Yeah, I mean, there's potential for him to make some pretty big plays here. He just needs to decide to do them. Like, not check Meridia and, like, you know, just do ice. Locklen to really put himself back in there.
I don't know if you noticed that, but Ivan just was thinking, I think.
I know, I did. No, I did notice. It was interesting. Not really sure.
Yeah.
Like, does he not know what is available still? Like, what he needs to be doing? Is he checking Graveyard Ledge? I don't think he's done that yet.
He's doing. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Because he got that mirror, you know, relatively late in the day, especially since he got Flute so late.
He did.
Probably,
but I mean,
I'm not prioritizing.
Like, he just got Green Pendant, so, like, I mean, why not just go check that?
Yeah,
you know?
I would think that would be the, you know, obvious choice, but, you know.
You know, what's tricky
glad he's
about...
remembering these things.
That's true, and what's tricky about the shovel is, like, it's hidden behind Flute in your inventory, so, like, if he doesn't remember that it's there, he might just not even remember that, like, he has that.
Well, here's to hoping we don't have another situation like that, but that could, I guess, help Locklen get back in the game.
Oh, he's never
Looks
done
like
Zora
he's remembered
yet.
Zora. Yeah.
Oh,
there's all
man.
these loose squares for Ivan that are sinking some time. And we know they don't pay off. Like, Locklen already spent all the time farming for this, so...
Yeah.
Probably gotta feel a little bit good, I mean, after the fact. You know, if he watches this back, realizing, hey, Ivan had to do the same thing at least to go back to Zora and get ripped off.
Yep.
That blue boom. Alright, so Locklen is making his way over to Wrecked Ship. Again, we do know that Spring Ball is here, but nothing else. Alright, Ivan, what's your next move? What you doing?
For some reason, Locklen keeps unmorphing before he gets into the hole. Finally makes it in there, though. Grabs these missiles. Turns right on around. Ivan going back to Kakariko.
What's
to
here?
do what?
I guess he's going for Swamp? Maybe?
It might be, because you gotta do it from here. You gotta walk. It's a long walk. Or run.
It
jog,
certainly is a trek.
Saunter. Sojourn. Mooch. If you're from England.
Oh, he hasn't done purple chest either, so that's a good opportunity to check the first chest in swamp as well. Not sure if he's done cave 45 either, so
Oh yeah,
can
yeah.
route all that in. Good route.
Yeah. I'm behind it. It's good.
Well, there's not much else he can do. he can go to ice, which not a very appealing play, but an option.
Oh, hopefully he remembers his shovel here too.
Do Aghanim. Yeah, shovel, good opportunity to check that too. Man, what a route that could be.
Oh yeah, Bombo's tablet cannot be done because he does not have the book.
Correct. Looks like he might have forgot that shovel, or maybe he'll come back later. I'm excited about this first chest and swap, though.
This is so good. It's such a. It's like it's the worst thing, but it could be so good.
I know we've been talking about it for a while, so we'll see. We'll see.
Couple frustration slashes there. He's staying in the dark world. He's going to the dam.
He knows what he must do.
He's doing it. Here we go. Oh baby, let's see.
Let's see.
What's your guesses? What do you guys think this is?
Doesn't have to be. I hope it's 20 rupees. I still want that pyramid. I still want that pyramid fairy hammer. I think that's amazing.
Is it a 10 bomb drop? Or have we gotten that already? I don't know. Is it a big 20? Is it the dream? Or is it
Screw attack? Let's go.
screw attack? Or is it like a hook shot?
That would be interesting. All
Get
of
us
Death
over to
Mountain
Death Mountain.
immediately
There's so
opens up.
much-
Turtle
There's
Rock.
so much stuff over the Turtle Rock.
Well, we don't have hammer actually, so that doesn't
That's true.
work.
You
Now that I
can't-
think
yeah.
about it. All right, what we got?
And
E-Tank. Ouch.
Bum. Now
Oh,
Amira
book
straight
could have
into
been
ice.
hilarious.
Oh, book, yeah. Oh man. He's not doing ice.
Well,
He's
maybe
floating.
floating there.
Oh, no.
He's turning in the green pendant. Okay,
Ah, yes.
that's fine.
That's fair. Yeah.
Very logical play.
All right.
That's good. Locklen almost done with his Fantoon fight here.
Doing a fire dance.
Knows he needs one super in there, then he's done. There he goes. Piece of heart from Sahasrahla, like we saw earlier from Locklen. Now, what is the play, Ivan? It's gotta be ice. Like, I don't... There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Going to 8.
Yep. 3 items here. Although, potentially, you can't get them all because you do need hammer for a few.
Yep, you sure do. You need hammer for 3 of the items in the dungeon, which includes the boss.
I think, actually, he can't get them all. I think just the way that the logic of the dungeon works out, I think. Right? Or no, maybe not.
3 of the 8 items cannot be collected.
No, I know, but I think like because of like the way keys need to be and whatnot. Maybe you can get them all outside of
I mean, there could be something where the hook shot is gating some of the items in this dungeon, which we don't have the hook shot yet either. Which could be here as well. That's another place hook shot can be, but we'll see. Just have to wait and see. There's the other tunic. Only 2 more items left in Ice Palace, and only 4 remaining locations. Because, I mean, there's still map, compass, big keys, small keys in here, so... I mean, that might be the only accessible item in here, potentially. It's really nice to get a small key early on in here. Especially if you don't have the hook shot.
Right. But, I mean, even without the hook shot, though, Ivan could hover, or he could bomb jump across.
Exactly. Or even mirror and then come through the dungeon again. That's another option.
Yeah, that's the other option as well. Yeah.
Likely to see some hovering if that's the case, though.
But yeah, hammer is needed. You cannot get those other items without the hammer.
Oh, nice diagonal hover there from Ivan.
Well done.
Who needs to bomb jump anyways?
Makes it look so easy. 2 for 2, or 3 for 3, I guess, technically, because they did it twice across that gap under Spectacle Rock.
Alright, so we'll see what's at Freezor. If he gets a key, probably come back upstairs. Just so he doesn't have to deal with that room. Did get the small key, so back upstairs we go. He'll only be able to get one chest on this side unless he finds the hammer here, because everything to the right of this, up those stairs, is locked behind hammer. So
yeah,
he almost went up there, but no such luck.
Yeah, so unfortunately just got a key.
Yep.
2 more item locations remain. There's the
actually it might only be one. Depends it depends if he gets the big key.
I was just gonna say
part of it.
Like he might get the big key, in which case one more. Otherwise, if he does not get the big key, then he's only got one location left to check.
Yep, and then it is a hook shot locked dungeon as well.
Right. And here it is. The big key. All right, so he does have one more location.
Continues here in Ice Palace.
Here we go.
He's probably thinking like this. I really need this to be it. Otherwise, I have to go to Aghanim. So I think that's it.
He's the shovel. Still needs.
Oh, the shovel. The shovel. You're right. You're right. And he needs to hover across this gap here, or bomb jump. But looks like hover is successful. Very nicely done. Here we go.
What is it? What'll it be? No! Oh my god!
We're getting close, folks!
3 more item locations.
We're getting close to that Pyramid Fairy dream.
3 item locations remain in the entirety of both games for Ivan right now. This is it, folks.
And you can see him flailing around, wondering what on earth is happening. I don't think he's remembered the shovel spot.
Chat,
but maybe he has.
We need your help.
This is it.
Oh, maybe it is.
This is it.
Oh no! Oh, he's going to Aghanim.
Oh, he's doing it.
We need your help. You have a 1 in 3 chance of guessing the correct place. Where do you think it is? Pyramid Fairy left, Pyramid Fairy right, or shovel? And what item do you think it is? Let's see it in the chat. It could be book. It could be hookshot. It could be hammer. Those are the only things that are going to give us progression.
Andy brings up a great point. You can fairy revival fake flipper with the big bomb and mirror.
Oh.
But that can be a very tricky thing to execute.
Does Ivan know how to do? I don't know how to do that. I don't know what.
Surprised Ivan isn't like slashing those guards with this butter sword.
Butter sword,
shooting like normal arrows at him, but maybe he's just a little frustrated. Needs to unleash some frustration.
I mean, I would be. This is like the worst.
Or the best.
Or the best from a viewer standpoint. 0% chance Ivan doesn't know how to do it. Gotcha. All right. So there you go. There you have it, folks. But he's not doing it, though. So he's...
Well, the important thing is realizing that Pyramid Fairy is in the logic. Because that's a very tricky thing to remember. You know, when you're in the heat of the moment in these races.
Yeah.
That's not something that immediately comes to mind. But I'm glad that he's doing it. This is exciting.
It's okay, Andy. It gave me a good laugh. Anyway, Locklen making his way through Wreck Ship. 2 items left here, and then he's gonna piece on out. He's done all of Brinstar, he's done all of Criteria, he's done all of Wreck Ship, he's done all Upper Norfair. He needs to go back. Basically, what he needs to do is go back to Link to the Past, turn in the bottle for Bombos, go to Meyer, get his gravity.
And then do Pyramid Fairy or get the shovel in Meridia. Like,
right.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's got to make one of those two.
I've been getting a little unlucky here with some blue balls on Aghanim. It's just RNG if he's gonna throw you a blue ball or an energy ball that you can actually reflect at him. So it's gotta get them all in there. It's hoping for no more, but they keep coming.
Just keep going. Necro Zero Sir and Pyramid Fairy right is the hook shot. I don't know if anybody. I apologize if anybody else guessed. I missed it.
That was 3 more blue balls on that cycle.
Oh baby, it's like the worst that you can get.
He did get 2 energy balls at first, so it's not quite the worst.
Well, I mean, for that round.
For that round, it was. Yeah, it absolutely was. They just keep coming. There we go. One more to go.
Locklen will switch back to Link to the Past here. There are 4 door transitions with which you can switch back and forth between the games. This is one of them. All right, Ivan got Aghanim down. Portal at Hyrule Castle unlocked.
Now check shovel. He might be, actually. Because what is he doing? He is trying to get...
What's he doing, though? Why did he save and quit?
I don't know why he didn't just, like, flute from the castle.
Okay, so Locklen now knows that Bombos for Meyer, or maybe he knew it already. What is he doing?
He knew it already. He's going to LN.
Oh, he has to do... No, oh, I meant Ivan, but I forgot for like the 3rd time or 4th time already that he has to go this way to get to the big bomb.
Yeah, what's unfortunate for Locklen is he's gonna see that plasma in a second here.
And
not actually be able to use it here.
But he's got 50 super missiles. I think it's okay.
He's alright? You think he'll manage?
I think he'll be okay.
Alright, so here's like the victory lap for Ivan after Aga. To go all the way from the Kakariko portal to the bomb shop and then mirror over to Hyrule Castle.
He's remembering!
He remembered!
Oh my god, check the shovel first!
Now it's gonna be like Hammer here. There's gonna be so much regret.
Please, please. Oh baby, let's see it. No!
He already fake powdered, so yeah. He knows that that's off the table. So it's actually at the Pyramid Fairy.
It's actually required. This Pyramid Fairy ridiculousness. Oh. Oh man, this is a seed. Oh baby. Oh man. Last chance to get. What do you guys think? What is it, and which chest? You've got a 50-50 shot now for 3 different items.
All right, I'm gonna say that Hammer's in the right one.
Hammers in the... I'm thinking book in left. That's what I want.
God.
I want book in the left. I see some other people who are on board. That guy, Zach, also want book left. Nikram wants book left. Jess wants book left.
Man, there's so many book lefts.
I'm glad Jess is on my side. All these other people.
All right, here we
Everybody
go.
else. Let's see.
3,
Let's see.
2,
Cracking
1.
in anticipation.
Boom!
I can't
What
wait.
we got?
Dude, no. They did
The slow realization of the pain in the left hammer. Oh my god.
And it's like the worst one because he has to go up the long way around to like Death Mountain or like go to Pod or go back to Ice actually. Yeah, there you go.
He is going back to Ice, which I think Cold Stare is in logic for, but I don't know if the right side is in logic for Hookshot. I don't think it ever can be. But I might be wrong. I think Cold Stare is in logic because we have the big key.
Right.
Anyways, whatever it is, this is still a fine play. I called this a while ago. I was like, hammer it Pyramid Fairy is the dream. And there we go.
You did, absolutely.
Unbelievable. Another thing we haven't even talked about in a while is that Hookshot can be at the pedestal. Just could just throw another wrench in all of these plans.
Hookshot could be at the pedestal now. Yeah, now that we've got Hammer, that means that Pod is completable. Locklen needs to be very careful, very low on health here, please.
Yeah, he's not in a good spot right now. As we mentioned, everything in Lower Norfair does a ton of damage. This is not an easy area of the game to be in.
And he can Crystal Flash.
That could be a good out here.
He is really should
I think
not.
He wants to, but he has reserve.
Oh, he's trying to kill
he's trying to. No, I think he's trying to Crystal Flash.
Oh. No, he's just trying to kill the pirate.
The pirate. I see. Did he end up getting plasma?
No, it does not have plasma.
That's really unfortunate because that would really help him here.
In case you can freeze the Namahe. Look at all those bombs! What?
There's a lot of bombs.
There's 15 bombs there.
Got him.
The... Oh, Ivan.
Ivan.
Oh, Ivan.
He quickly switched over to that potion.
Okay, so the remaining 2 items here, and then Cold Stare. And then Ice Palace is done. 5th Crystal, half magic. That's nice.
It's nice. I mean, I think a really strong play is like East Death Mountain and Turtle Rock right now.
Absolutely. There's just a bazillion items there.
But it could also just be back in Swamp Palace.
Locklen needs to space jump. When
it's not looking good, but he has a bunch of reserves, so he's okay for now. He has all the reserves.
He entered through the portal, so all he would need he wouldn't even need to go back. Like he wouldn't have to redo very much if he does.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to fight Golden Chorizo, which is probably where he lost most of the health, I would say. So. That's good. You just gotta be really careful against these key hunters. Can't use normal missiles against these guys. And they will come after you. All right, let's check out how Ivan handles this cold stare fight. He's got butter sword in hand, so he's doing pretty well.
Locklen, like, put himself in a corner. Use the angle down button.
Ivan
Alright,
just put cold stare in the corner.
He absolutely did. Heart piece. Okay.
Still
East
on
of
the
Mountain.
hunt.
Go.
Or the front of swamp, or pedestal. Just commit.
Commit to the pedestal. Oh.
I'm not sure if there's another item at Helmasaur King or not. That could be an option as well. But yeah, Death Mountain just has a million things. So, I like to play. We do have Spike Cave. We have Hammer Pegs available. Which is really kind of trolly.
Oh, God.
I want to say there was an E-Tank at this location or something. I don't remember. But he needs it. Oh, he can Crystal Flash. Oh, he can't anymore. He's out of...
No.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
He did save.
Floating Island is a bust.
Gonna go ahead and check out the Light World here. Take care of Spiral Cave. Makes sense. You got boots. Do all this. You know, you get 8 items here in the Light World. And then you get 6 more, 7 more if you include that floating island.
This is just a really precarious situation to be in for Locklen.
It sure is. He's got to run! Rip. This is unfortunate. But he'll make it through eventually. I mean, the good thing is he did get to the save.
A not terrible option would be going back.
To
fire
get some more power bombs to Crystal Flash.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he could just, like, get damaged on some of the spikes here. And then Crystal Flash, because he had exactly 11. But then, I guess he wouldn't be able to get through. So maybe that's
He would be soft locked then.
He'd be soft locked, rip.
The problem with going from the save though is the key hunters are in like awful positioning for you to get past them going up the stairs.
All right, Ivan is checking out Super Buddy now. So we got 2 more items here, and then we've got...
Do you think
1 more in Hookshot Cave?
Yeah, that's true.
I mentioned 6 earlier, but yeah, there's only 3 in the Dark World.
Yeah.
I forgot. But there is still Spike Cave.
Yep, Spike Cave, Bombos Tablet is obviously not on Death Mountain. But that's something that is also available now. Oh no, it's not. Why do I no? He doesn't have the book still.
Well,
Man,
he has all of Turtle Rock, so I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good play at this point. He has all the medallions, so there's no problem here.
Absolutely not. All right, Locklen's got 1 more Tuskegee. Down he goes. All right. Hopefully this was an E-Tank. I don't remember what it is, though. It's not. It's a heart piece.
Dang. I thought there was an E-Tank somewhere here in Lower Norfair. Maybe it was at Ridley. I don't even remember. But here we go. Looks like that ether, which was, I think, in Spore Spawn Super,
Yes.
is required.
Yep. So these pirates are going to take a while with just wave and ice.
But
Especially
if he's
with
patient,
no angle down shots.
if he's patient, he'll get through it and get some health. So that's the
Right.
important thing right now.
Well, not even necessarily. He's not in health bomb range, so he could just get lucky or unlucky, depending on how you see it, and get a bunch of ammo. He's got to be doing some angle down shots, though. He's missing some of these.
Oh. Well, there's your health bomb.
That
Got him.
All right. Woo!
He was just planning for the health bomb. That was
It was
the,
all,
that was the
all
tactic.
calculated. All entirely.
All calculated.
Well done, Locklen. Those are the kind of calculations I make all the time.
Speaking of
I'm proud of you.
calculations, Ivan having to do this right side of Turtle Rock the intended way, because he doesn't have the hook shot to be able to make it quick. That's what we're looking for. Lots of keys early on here in Turtle Rock. That's usually a nice thing, but when you're looking for stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much for you when you're looking for things still. If you're in go mode, it's very nice to see, but
Yeah, I'd be farming these bugs. Good strategy.
where on earth are silver arrows?
They're screw attack. They're at chain chomps. That kind of makes sense. Chain chomps kind of hit like a truck, so does screw attack.
Yeah. Those, it's like silvers though, are just like probably in GT. I'll say.
Uh, they can literally be anywhere.
At this point,
they're not in
they're-
Super Metroid. We know that.
we know that much.
I'm gonna have to check this. Vanilla Big Key. Could be the hook shot. Is not. Just a compass.
Using that shovel powder. Get himself a refill on hearts there. As Locklen is making his way through Flower House. Farming along the way. Getting himself to a comfortable amount of health.
Yeah, I like the patience here. Because, I mean, he was struggling in the previous room, so he knows that everything's hitting like a truck. Just want to be as safe as possible, and hopefully he'll farm some more here off of these bugs.
Right.
Yeah, very good. And get enough ammo for Ridley, too, because since he did not pick up Plasma, probably want those supers to be at max, or at least, I mean, at least 30. All right, Mimic Cave has Spazer. Best beam.
Got there.
Our resident meme beam has appeared, and now we'll check the big chest. There it is!
Got there.
Got him.
Woo, baby. 2 hours, 44 minutes, and 6 seconds. go mode.
All right, so congratulations to Ivan for managing to get the nonsense to make progress in this seed. Made the right call to go to Turtle Rock. Definitely was a smart decision. Although there wasn't that much left. To be fair, he's pretty much full cleared both games. So it'll just be a quick trip back down the mountain to Swamp Palace in the South Shore, and then back up to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah.
So chooses. I mean, I guess you could do Super Metroid first, but most players tend to lean towards going into Link's to the Past and completing that first.
Right. Very often you're usually in a Link to the Past when you've hit go mode, and so it makes sense to just stay in a Link to the Past, not do any extra transitions. Plus, a lot of the time you haven't full cleared both games, so you don't have all the items that you could possibly need. So there could be like some, convenient speed items for Super Metroid in like Ganon's Tower, for example. And when you're, running around looking for the big key, you could find like, a speed booster or a plasma beam or something in GT, which speeds up Super Metroid.
Which in this case, Ivan literally has all the items all the major items from Super Metroid, but he could even get something like an E-Tank that could help with stand-up glitch or just, being healthy enough to progress in general. Yes. I mean, I don't think Ivan's going to be looking for anything, but...
No, there's no way.
Maybe silvers.
Like, maybe the last couple checks at the top of GT or something, but, like... He's not going... He's just going to the end. He's going for
the zero fast cycle here on Trinex. We'll see if he gets it.
Ice Head was a little far away. Yeah.
Didn't quite make it. And we got Locklen on this Ridley fight, so let's give him our energy to get through here. Can be a tough fight, but he's got a lot of super missiles.
He came in with like 45. That's like an extra 15 that he needs. Entered. He's got like 10 to go, 10 to spare, I think, right now.
You can see that Ridley is just hitting like a truck, so I mean, he doesn't have a lot of health to spare. He's doing a good job. Nice. Got him down. Now he still has to escape. So hopefully he'll farm up a little bit more. Or maybe this is where the E-Tank was. I don't know. I thought there was an E-Tank somewhere in here. I guess I'm just wrong.
Nope. Just immediately wrong. Oh. But you can farm up. Again, that patience, though, as you were talking about, it's a virtue, so they say.
It sure is.
Keeps you alive. And there's that Octorok shooting through the pillar at Ivan. He's got the no-clip mod on.
No scope. Alright, and here's our glorious return back to Swamp Palace.
After that E-Tank.
Exactly. Maybe we'll see him open up like waterfall chest or something on the way, looking for silvers. I think that could be a reasonable check, but more than likely going to be fine. I know many of the players in this tournament know how to do silverless.
It's something that's pretty imperative to Rando, especially combo, because like silver's like literally anywhere. They could just be anywhere, like actually, because by the time, because you just need them for Ganon. So like they could be in GT, they could be hidden behind a fetch quest item that's in GT, like so having to spend a bunch of time like going to the top of GT and getting a book and then going down to like Bombo's tablet to get silvers to go all the way back, and it's just awful.
It's terrible. It can be, yeah, I mean they could be on the pedestal. Right?
Or like, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. You may have to do 3 more dungeons in
with
order
a pedestal item in GT, like that you need.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be absolutely terrible, but what's nice is the randomizer developers designed it such that like you can still get the silvers and you're not forced to do silverless Ganon. You know, in this normal mode, you don't need to learn any crazy tricks in order to complete it. Now to go fast, sure. You may need to learn some techniques, but
that's
what we expect from all these amazing runners.
Yeah, but that's what's so great, like you said, that the developers did not require that because it opens up the accessibility of this rando to everyone, not just people who have like technical or speedrunning knowledge of these games. It allows just like Joe Schmo to start to be a part of this awesome community and learn at their own pace. And eventually, like through watching these awesome races on speed gaming and other streamers and stuff, like see those things happen and be like, hey, I want to learn that, and then it just like the whole community expands and it's just wonderful.
It definitely is. And so if you ever thought about giving this a try, like don't be too intimidated. Just give it a shot. It might take you 20 hours, might take you 2 hours and 50 minutes. Then you'd already be beating Ivan.
And there's tons of people in the community who are more than willing and happy to help you figure things out.
Definitely. And, these guys are no exception. I mean, I know these guys are pretty kind people. They're around in the community. I mean, definitely drop by their channels and toss them a follow because they've been putting on a big show here. They've been showcasing some of the crazier logics that can happen in the randomizer.
This is not that common. This is a pretty uncommon thing that you're seeing here, which is cool. It's cool. Showcase. But it is that time though, everyone. Ivan is on his way to Ganon's Tower. Time for you to get your guesses in. For which chest? 1 through 22.
Has that big key for Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, the big key. Where is the big key? But Alu, I want to know, what do you think?
Well, I think everybody should get their guesses in the chat because any supporters of speed gaming, sub to any of the speed gaming channels or is cheered total of 250 bits or more can participate and jump on the leaderboard. But my guess, I'm gonna go with lucky number 7. How about you?
7. I'm stalling because I haven't picked anything yet.
Well, you better hurry up.
We'll go with I mean, if I'm not actually putting in the chat, I can just take however long I want, right?
I mean, once he starts opening chests, you're DQ'd.
Let's see. Let's say number 12. We'll go 12.
Alrighty. Number 12 it is. It's number 1.
Oh, there you go. Oh, man.
Good lord.
Closest was 8. Wow. No one had any faith in this seed at all. Jeez. After all of them put them through, you guys 8 was the lowest guess? Anyway, there you have it, folks.
Congratulations to MKNZY Calhoun.
Mackenzie Calhoun.
Mackenzie Calhoun. There you go. You solved the puzzle.
I did. It's because they were hanging out the other day with us. All right, but very nicely done mimic rooms, especially like without silvers. Those can be kind of tricky to manipulate those mimics in such a way while being quick so that you don't get hit by the BMOs.
I am glad that there was a early big key to kind of, you know, reward them for such a horrible Aghanim required hammer situation.
You know what we call this seed in the business, Alu?
Amazing.
We call it Stoops.
Jet?
No, absolutely not. Just Stoops.
There you go.
S-T-P-O-O-P-S. To poop. Oh, man. Alright, well... really good gauntlet, too, actually. Nice RNG in that last room.
I was about to say, he's been flying through here, and Locklen is finally escaped lower norfair, so good on him. Finally finishing that up. He does not have any more of norfair to do, so I'm sure he's thankful for that.
Yes,
It's not an easy place to be, especially without gravity. Because things just hit so hard.
Yeah, that's his next play. Like he needs to go turn in his bottle, get his bombos, and get to Meyer. Like that's basically all he's got left to do.
Mm-hmm. And I think he knows that he's pretty much done with Super Metroid right now. I don't think there's any other location he can do that's in logic.
Yeah.
So he'll probably end up just in Link to the Past doing things. I'm not exactly sure what his plans are. I mean, maybe he'll YOLO the Pyramid Fairy thing, but he still needs the Bombos in order to accomplish that.
Nice map.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta figure out where you're going. You just gotta take a breather, figure it out. That's what that map screen's for.
I think the map screen is for increasing frustration. When you have too much salt, you just get more.
Well, Ivan's pushing on through. He knows that, you know, you had to make a leap of faith in order to get that hammer. So, more than likely, most players will put that off until the end. Here we go. Here's a hover from Ivan yet again. He has been on point with these hovers.
It's like the 5th one. Did not fail a single one.
Really impressive.
Just for those who aren't unaware, there's the Bombos. On his way to Meyer, I'm sure. Locklen now. But hovering, basically, the first frame after you dash, or like after you release the dash button, the game keeps you on like a floor where you're just standing. Basically, you don't fall. And then you can move during during that one frame, and so then you need to repress the dash button to keep yourself from falling, and then release and repress for one frame every single time. And then during that one frame, you're moving whatever direction you need to go across the gap. So basically, it's a series of pressing and releasing A with one frame in between each press many, many, many times.
Ivan not very happy with Aghanim 2 because he had to fight Aghanim 1 before this in order to get here. Kind of had a little bit of troll where the 3 Aghanims kind of desync from each other. So, like, it kind of made him miss some of the energy balls that he probably wanted to get. But it is what it is. He's completed Ganon's tower. And here we go. We're at Ganon himself. Would you also be a spicy barbacoa burrito, Wild?
I do not like barbacoa, no. I would definitely be carnitas.
What? I would think you would be a crinkle fry burrito, but...
Well,
yes.
If we're just talking about meat. But absolutely, I'd be a crinkle fry burrito. Guaranteed.
I thought that was the correct answer, at least. But here we are in Meyer. Locklen jumping in, so that's very good for him. He's gonna find that gravity, and then that'll probably lead him on a bad path, but
Yeah, I mean,
what is there to do, right? Like,
it's so hard to get gravity and not immediately go to Meridia at this point because there are so many items there, and you've been like running around. Oh!
looks like silvers were in swamp. That's interesting.
Were they? Okay. Ivan was cutting it really close with the thing there. Almost falling.
But he's starting to get into a rhythm
Of falling?
for these spins for doing silverless Ganon. Barely got that one in. It's just 12 spins and Ganon's down. But we still gotta beat Super Metroid.
Yep.
So,
it's not over, folks.
one
There's
more
still
game
more
to go
in
after
it.
this. Whoops.
Oh no. But to distract, you know what I found out the other day? Is that there is a restaurant that makes sushi burritos near me, and I would like to go try it sometime. Apparently they're really expensive though.
Sushi burritos sound amazing.
It sounds super bomb. Yeah, I've heard they're like very expensive. But it's worth. It's worth.
Seems good.
At least that's what I'm telling myself. Locklen, though, last couple of checks. Unfortunately, gravity being in like the last chest that's gonna get checked. But
get that intel that silvers are still in Swamp Palace, so if Ivan wants to bail like he did before, he could
they're still
go
there.
get them. Maybe he was just tempted a little bit. That's why he took the fall there. Or the death, I should say.
The hug. Ganon wore his free hugs today shirt.
Just listen to Ganon casually.
I mean, you are believing that his silvers are in swamp, so apparently you're listening to him. Got him.
Fair enough. I mean, gravity is in Meyer. Locklen just picked it up. I guess silvers may not be in swamp, but I don't know. I trust in Ganon. He's a cool dude.
All right, get those G's in the chat. Single
Yeah,
G.
only one G, please.
Only one G.
All right, so if you save and quit and then you reset, then you can just end up right back on the ship, ready to go for Gold 4 and Turian.
Now, do you think he's okay with his ammo that he's got right now?
No. No, he's absolutely fine. He's got Charge Beam, he's got Ice, he's got Wave, he's got Plasma. So taking down Mother Brain with just 20 shots of that beam combination is going to be a cinch. He's got plenty of missiles and supers to deal with everything here. Did we ever find SM bombs?
No.
So that's an SM item I guess we never picked up. So if he does get grabbed by Metroids, he will have to use power bombs, but he's got plenty of those to deal with that as well. So he should be perfectly fine here. And you're not going to want to miss the execution in some of these Metroid rooms. They can be some of the hardest rooms to execute well.
Flawless room 1.
Yeah,
there.
that
Excellent.
room 1 was amazing.
Rooms 1 and 3 are the
Rip.
most difficult to do. But yeah, without bombs, he's gonna have to power bomb these Metroids off.
Nice Viddy fight by Locklen, by the way.
Oh, he went for it though.
And then we've got another trick coming up here shortly. Wild.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
The Metroid skip. Ooh. It's not spooky, but it is.
Why is that spooky? I mean, I guess it's kind of scary. There's a giant Metroid coming at you. You're trying to avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you can manipulate the Metroid's movement to orbit around Samus by moving in a particular way. And then, so long as you hit the door transition before the Metroid grabs you, well, the door transition completely fades before the Metroid grabs you, then you've skipped the Metroid cutscene, which, with this much E-Tank, is going to take quite a bit of time. So you're going to see Ivan make the Metroid circle around by running back and forth, clearing out all these reeds. Excellently done. Wow, that was only just a couple jumps. That was really good. So it essentially skips the whole Metroid latches onto you cutscene, flies around as Samus is like panting on the floor with 1 health left, and then you have to stand up really slowly, and unless you
then you have
face
to go
right,
recharge your energy too,
refill your energy.
Pretty time consuming.
Yeah. I've been going for the speed booster Zeb skip. Let's go. Nailed it. Wonderful.
Sounds so enthused.
Well, no, it's awesome. I appreciate it because don't pause to take off screw attack, and the down back method is dumb.
There you go.
But the way that works is those little like. So he's pausing it. Oh, okay, all right. Respect lost. Took off Varia. What the heck? Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, the platforms that stick out to the left and right that you would normally stand on to shoot the Zebetite, underneath it is actually a slope. It's a sloped block for some reason going in towards the Zebetite. So when you diagonally spark, you actually travel up inside the thing, and then if you aim down and mash jump, you jump up into the Zebetite and you can clip through.
So Ivan chucking 20 of these combo shots of charge, wave, ice, plasma into Mother Brain.
Also getting a combo of some onion rings and tater tots. My goodness.
A little ketchup on top.
Whoops.
Pretty sure Mother Brain isn't dead. Yeah. There we go, and it looks like he's going to be setting up for that stand-up glitch. So what are we looking to do here?
We're looking to backdoor Meridia. We haven't seen this door yet, actually. Is this our 4th thing here? But what Ivan wants to do is damage himself down beneath 100 energy. There he goes. And so that triggers Mother Brain's final cutscene where she like does this. She's about to hit you with the last rainbow beam shot, but you're supposed to be locked down on the ground. But when you take enough damage, you are able to still move and run around. But then once you're beneath a certain threshold of energy, Mother Brain won't attack you anymore with a regular attack because it would kill you. And then it just starts this whole cutscene here. But when you stand up, you can actually start to damage her after she turns her final shade of gray right now. Ivan starts to hit her. And you can start doing damage for the final phase. Each shot here is going to be reducing the amount of hyper beam shots that you need to do. Unfortunately, Locklen just got knocked down by the Puyo down into the sand pit, did not get his shovel.
So we might see him go back up and fight Bot Wound or something in order to get that. Still does not have that plasma beam, unfortunately.
Right.
Can't do
another thing. The thing with stand-up that I didn't mention, though, that it's a very important thing to mention for those of you like, oh, I'm just gonna like go do that now, is there are 2 points in which the game will lock you to the ground, and you won't be able to do the stand-up. If you have X-ray, you'll be able to stand yourself up and you can just use X-ray and everything's fine. But also, right there at the end, after the Metroid explodes, the game kind of freezes for 2 points in time. The second of which, if you are holding shoot during that time, when the game gives you Hyper Beam, you can indefinitely soft lock your game, anywhere from like 5 minutes to multiple hours. It's totally random. And that's bad.
I do have to say that was a beautiful stand up. He only had 2 hyper beam shots left on Mother Brain 3. So, well done, Ivan.
That's not correct.
Is that not right?
No, not with the beams that he has. But that was nice, a blue bomber though.
Wait, what? He had only 2 hyper beam shots left on Mother Brain 3.
Did he?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He has plasma.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking he had wave and ice.
That's Locklen.
Right. Of course. You passed the test. Nice job.
Thanks. Feels good to graduate.
But he got that awesome blue bomber though, which is actually a super cool strat.
And probably not going to see any animals saved here, because I mean this is a race, trying to get done as quickly as possible. But you never know. All right.
Good. Wonderful. There it is, folks. Ivan taking this match. What a seed.
Yeah, what a seed. Ivan finishing there with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 24 seconds. Congratulations to Ivan. He's going to be going 3-2 in the tournament, and maybe if something happens, he may be able to sneak into that top 8. It's going to be tough, though. Got to see how the rest of the matches play out. And it looks like we're joined by Ivan now. Hello, Ivan. GG.
Hello.
Hello. Wonderful job with this wonderful seed. Curious, what are your thoughts?
I don't know how they managed to do it, but the seeds I've played in this tournament have just gotten progressively worse every time. This was terrible.
This was quite a seed.
I'm lucky that I even remembered to do that, because I don't know what I was watching. Some match I was watching the other day, somebody mentioned, oh yeah, Hammer could be locked, locked in the pyramid fairy, and you could have to go do Aga in order to get to it. I was like, oh, that'd be terrible. Hope I never have to do that. What do you know?
And here we are.
Well, I think regardless, though, you did a good job showing off the seed. Showing off the games, basically full clearing them both.
Dude, I dropped my pants. I was so happy.
Yeah, that was definitely a well-deserved win here. Well done.
Yeah, and I do have to say, the play over to pod, like, reasonably early was huge.
Yeah.
And the lamp location and everything, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think the last seed I played, or one of the last seeds I played, maybe it was a race with Andy or something, but like, it was something similar where I think we got screw attack and then a glove without the lamp, and I just kind of broke into Death Mountain and got Morph Ball from high jump. I was like, I'm just going to do this again, because it probably wants us to go, through Brinstar a little bit and get something to come back to here to get to Death Mountain to get, whatever else. Ended up not being exactly the case, but it kind of, still led me on the right path. And once I found area, kind of figured that Lamp was going to be somewhere in Norfair. So it kind of just all put itself together at that point.
Yeah. Basically, what it wanted you to do was go Agonut for Flute to get into front of, or go Brinstar to get Varia, use the Flute to go up to the mountain to go into Norfair, to then get it Shine Spark up into Norfair to get your Lamp, to go into Pod to get the Morph. So, but I mean, the way that you did it though was great. It was really a good talking point, because we were able to explain, talk about the logic, and then how breaking the logic can hurt you, but it can also really help you. And it was really showcased in the way that you, in this seed, in the way that you were playing in this seed, it showed how breaking that logic can really help you, because the items that you were skipping were not really imperative for like clearing a bunch of other stuff in the game, and so you were able to completely skip like farming up a bunch for Zora because you've just found a bunch of money along the way. You were able to just continue to like clear dungeons and do other stuff, just more efficiently by skipping those things. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, I was really happy to actually find Morph Ball in there too, because that was kind of my last thing to do in the Dark World at that point. So it was nice to pull from there, and just not have it be, you know, down in Retro Brinstar or somewhere in Green Brinstar or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Also of note were your reactions to item locations.
Yeah.
Pretty great, I think.
It just gets frustrating, man. Like, God, I've never been without hookshot or hammer for that long.
Well, and they gated so many items. Like
know.
all of Death Mountain was completely unchecked.
Yeah. God.
And strangely, all of like, you know, like the lucrative part of Death Mountain was just trash, and it was obviously TR that finally had hookshot, which I mean made sense to go up there. Just like a million items.
Yeah.
Yep. It was really great when it was getting down to the last couple items. We were just like, all right, these are the places that Ivan's got to left to check. We were just, you know, taking bets, wondering where you're gonna go, and we were wondering when you were gonna remember that you had shovel. Like, did you forget that you had it, or did you just not?
I forgot completely until I started walking down towards towards the bomb, like after Aghanim already.
And that was the funny thing is Alu jokingly was like, right after you killed Aghanim, he said, you know, go, time to check shovel. You know, now that Aghanim is dead, before you even check Pyramid Fairy, and then you did, and then it was powder, which I think would have been even more hilarious if you hadn't done the fake powder already.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got the shovel from after bots, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm probably gonna forget to use that. That's gonna suck. And then I was walking down past the Sacred Grove, and I went, oh no.
Yeah.
I probably just did all of that for absolutely nothing. But
well, that's the thing about shovel. It's like because it gets hidden behind flute, and like you don't see it in your inventory, so you have to be cognizant of that, or at least see the little flashing Y button.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the unfortunate thing here for Locklen, he, both of you guys were doing basically exactly the same thing early on in the seed. You both, you know, once you were going into Kakariko, you got farmed the crabs for money and went down to buy bombs. You went into Tavern, got the Moon Pearl, and Locklen did not. And forgot about that location for quite some time. Before finally getting back there to get that Moon Pearl.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so he was doing like all sorts of like norfair dipping, and he went to the top of Red Tower without morph and stuff. Just like everything that was logically available until he went back and realized it. But fortunately, he did.
And I mean, once he ran out of locations, he did remember it very, very quickly, which was good.
But he farmed from basically 0 to 500 rupees for Zora. He did get the flute at Aghanim, which was kind of a nice advantage that he had for a while.
Yeah, I got that real late. Man, I was real scared that Zora was gonna have something too, but what was I gonna say? I forgot. I
mean, the game just didn't give you any money until
oh yeah,
Metroid was available.
Yeah, I was gonna say this seemed like a really, really nice seed. Start off we got a bunch of stuff.
Do.
We got so much stuff, and I think at the 2-hour mark I was just missing hookshot and hammer, and that's around when I full cleared Super Metroid. I was like, all right, well, everything's in Zelda. I just gotta go find the rest of it, and it's just nowhere to be found.
But you did a lot of things really efficiently. I liked a lot of your routing, and I don't know, everything was just clean in general. Like no hovers missed. That was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I dropped a couple the second time I went through Ice Palace, and then I just bomb jumped it, but not a huge deal.
Regardless, though, still cool to see.
So that takes you to 3 and 2. Oh, sorry, Wild.
I was just to say, just finishing up that point real quick. Like it was also really cool to see it in Ice Palace, where you're going to like places and doing things where hookshot is normally like required to get you to those chests or across, and it was cool to see like the hovers and instead of bomb jumps that you normally. Anyway, yes. Hello.
Oh, if Ivan wants to comment on that.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say I get confused in Ice Palace because I'm not exactly sure what is and isn't in Logic. Like obviously hovering stuff isn't in Logic ever, but like when you have the red cane, you can do some stuff that you can't when you don't, and I just don't know what is or isn't available for me. So I'm just gonna try and do everything that I can.
I have some trouble wrapping my head around the logic. I wasn't completely sure either, but I think it's something like if you find the big key, you know, in the not hammer locked section, or that one chest that you can get to like on the right side, the spike room, I think like hookshot can never be like on that side of the dungeon. And like it's logically required to have hookshot if big key is on that side of the dungeon. I believe that's what it is. So in this case, you actually did find the big key on the other side, and I think that means that, like, Cold Seer could have had it, but I mean, don't quote me on that.
I get confused. I don't know.
It's yeah. It was worth just dropping over there for a few seconds and checking all that stuff.
Yeah, apparently there's a way to not have to kill Aghanim too. To get the bomb over there.
Andy was mentioning that in the chat. He's like, you can do some fairy revival.
I was talking to him afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah, remind me to teach you how to do Aga skip." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool that there's some way to do that. Wish I had known."
You have to like die with a fairy and get revived on like the same frame that you enter the water, so that you can like carry the chest with you or something like that. It's
that sounds impossible.
It's a little tricky. I believe in you. All right. So yeah, this takes you to 3 and 2 in the tournament. So I'm just curious, like, how you feeling overall about how things went and your placement. In theory, there's a chance you could take top 8.
Wait, what?
But it's gonna be hard.
I thought 4 and 1 was the cutoff.
I think if something weird happens, there can be like a playoff spot.
Oh, okay. Well,
it has to all line up like perfectly, I think, is what.
Yeah.
People are saying.
Regardless, I mean, I'm not really happy with how I played last week. Forgetting about, or like not seeing that I got the big key for Moth and forgetting about the big chest and Skull Woods for 20 minutes was awful, and I hated it. But it's my fault, so it's whatever. And obviously, if I'd been 3-1 this week, I'd be playing somebody else, and I don't know how I would have done against them anyway. So who knows what would have happened? But it was a really fun tournament. If this is the end of it for me, so I had fun playing. I hope to do more of these at some point. So definitely do more.
Maybe some more 2v2.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And I gotta watch out. I've been stepping up my Link to the Past routing game.
Oh. Andy was saying we gotta even up the set. Okay.
Wild's been practicing his routing too. We'll see. But it was a real treat watching this race. You guys were bringing us some cool execution, some high quality entertainment with some of these item placements. and all your skills.
Absolutely.
So wonderful job. Any other comments here?
I don't think so. Thanks for doing commentary for this.
Absolutely, our
It was
pleasure.
really fun. Yeah. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. All right, and good luck, I guess, if there is a tiebreaker situation.
Yeah.
So, looks like Ivan, Locklen is stuck in Ice Palace right now, hunting for that hammer the same way that you were. So, he's kind of going through the whole grind. He's gonna feel your pain.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, when it got down to like ice and swamp, I think maybe they're turning in the green pendant. I was just trying to figure out like how, since Kakariko is the only Dark World access we had, to like walk around the map, like how to act, like route this properly, so I wouldn't have to like go back to Kakariko 3 or 4 times just to get back to the Dark World. And I guess do swamp and then Ice Palace after that. It's nothing. None of it just feels good, you know.
I think you routed it as best you could because you were able to use like the mirror that you had just found to hit up most of the locations, get the purple chest and all that. So that was pretty nice. I think Locklen is like, what do I do here? I guess I have to fall down, check Freezor, or check Icy.
Ice Palace is one of those dungeons where if you don't have everything that you need to get through it, like normally, that you might normally have, and you're suddenly in a situation like this, it can really throw you off your game and leave you at a loss for how to progress. Because the dungeon inherently is difficult and tricky.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations like if you don't know the bomb jump in that red jelly room where you're usually supposed to hook shot across, or if you can't hover, then mirroring with the key is a good strategy to be able to check that right side, or get the big chest. I do like that Locklen is determined here. to continue and finish and work through the scene. This hell of a scene.
I mean, at this point, it's like I'd want to know where everything is. It's like you've put this.
You've come this far.
You've come this far. Like, where is anything? You know, like
Where are these
items
important, critical hammer and hook shot? Well, it's not an ice.
Yeah. JD Lars, you'll just have to wait and see the gloriousness
oh my God.
of where they are. You get the luxury of being able to see it again. Well, not again. Of being able to
through Locklen's eyes, who is going into the first chest in Swamp now. That's how limited his options are. He didn't think this could happen again, which it didn't, to be fair.
That's true, but he doesn't know that yet.
He's about to find out. Alright, so Rip Swamp, hopefully he realizes where he's got to go. It looks like he does. He's making that Aga play, that Aga dream. Oh, baby. That's what I like to see.
Oh, baby.
I'm impressed that both of these guys, you know, actually knew about this, because this is not a very common thing. Like, this doesn't happen very often. So these guys know their logics. Alright, so he's going up Aga Tower. We'll see how many blue balls that Locklen gets here. I don't believe the RNG is seeded in this combo randomizer like you might see in Link to the Past solo rando. So that's actually one of the big differences between combo and just Link to the Past generally. But keep watching. I'm sure you will see the hammer or the hook shot or both show up soon.
or neither, and we see the book.
Oh god. Help. Or screw attack. Or SM bombs. Just don't do anything logically. Alright, it looks like while Locklen may still be playing on the screen because we do have a delay on the stream, he has forfeited, so we're going to get him in here to chat about the seed. Because I think the Speed Gaming channel usually does cut off at around the 4-hour mark, so we are going to get Locklen in here, and here he is! Locklen, welcome.
Welcome, sir.
Tough break, man, with that moon pearl,
I can't believe I did that. I can't tell you how much I felt like my heart dropped when I went and picked it up.
Oh,
I was like,
we were feeling for you the whole time.
Although, to be fair, the seed was legitimately dumb, and yet we still had to kill Aghanim to get the hammer.
Yeah, how about that?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it happen before.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first
It's
time
not
I've
a
ever seen this
common
before.
thing.
Yeah, it is.
Now all
it
I need
is.
is a progression item on Pyramid to round out my reason I have to kill Aghanim.
Absolutely. It's so wonderful.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though that checking all the things I did because I missed the bar got some serious inefficiencies in my routing. So it's not I could only check partway and had to come back later to check the rest of. So even your stuff like the Isod and Firelord were in silly locations like Spazo and Crocomire.
Yeah, but what was actually interesting is it led you to the flute, which is something that Ivan took a long time to pick up. So you did have that advantage for a while, and you ended up finding Mirror significantly earlier than Ivan. So there was something there, you know, if you would like YOLO'd the Pyramid Fairy play, basically, you may have been able to kind of jump back in.
I considered that, but I'm thinking, no, that would be entirely too stupid about an hour before I did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem was you also didn't have bombos, which you needed to get a bottle from Super Metroid in order to actually get.
Yeah, because all 4 bottles were in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also played pretty poorly in Lower Norfair. I tanked too many things to the face. I'll say that, and I apologize to you viewers for making you watch that.
I mean, it's not an easy place to be in. We
Yeah,
were
I know,
actually a
but
little surprised you didn't.
Better.
We were actually surprised you didn't go for that plasma, though. That plasma.
I thought about it.
Chilling. Yeah.
But I was like, well, I'm already on the way to kill Ridley, and at the point what I need plasma for. Dragon. I have 50 supers, he'll die.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely helpful for more than just Ridley, though. Like, the whole, all of Lower Norfair is very helpful to have plasma.
And just to point out real quick, for those of you who may have just tuned in or tuned in a little late, here you can see the sequence here that Locklen is grabbing the big bomb right now and is heading towards the Pyramid Fairy. This is a really amazing thing that can happen. Amazing maybe in a bad way, but amazing nonetheless, where you can actually take this big bomb through the Aghanim portal and get it to the pyramid in order to collect some items.
It's terrible for me, amazing for the viewers.
Well, it's just as bad for Ivan, I think. He was the struggle was real because I mean he did all of the checks just like you did before he made this choice.
Yeah, I think if I hadn't been dumb and got that moon pull, this might have been a more competitive race. Who knows, maybe we'll get the chance to play Ivan in the future.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate because like you found that flute and we thought you were going to be able to bounce around and go all over the place. And just kind of just get places faster, but he also had made the play on pod like relatively early when he got into the Dark World and found the Morph Ball, so you know he kind of had that advantage as well. So it's hard to say what would have happened, but I mean either way.
I was trying to wait on Bo to go to pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did Thieves and grab Bo and then went straight to pod, more or less.
You see, I wanted to get the hammer before I did Thieves in case I had to get that stupid big chest. I've commentated way too many races where people go in there without the hammer and forget the chest, and I don't want that to happen to me. And then the chest has like a fire rod or a bow or something. Now, my concern was that Ivan would do that pod hover trick to get to both side.
Fair enough. But yeah, it took him a while to get back into Super Metroid and get all the goodies that you found, like Varia and Lamp and all that. But I think that really just helped him because you know those weren't required logically.
Yeah,
they were required. But they were required logically, but you didn't have to have them in order to get where you needed to go.
Yeah, they could have led somewhere, but in the end, they didn't. Mm-hmm. You didn't need mirror until you were in go mode, except for having the mirror. Pretty much.
Well, you needed it to get to
you
needed
to get the grappling hook. Yeah, you needed it for the hammer.
Right. Yeah.
But you still didn't need it for like the normal mirror checks. The not silly Aghanim ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to thank you and Wild for commentating and all the viewers for watching me.
Hey, we had a good time.
Yeah, made it enjoyable. Absolutely.
The next tournament. As well as perhaps participating in some weeklies or whatever.
Excellent. I'm glad you had a good time with the tournament. I mean, how did you feel overall? I mean, you ended up 2-3. I mean, obviously this one was
had a fun time with the tournament.
A bummer, but cool.
You know, losses happen. You got to take them.
But you also had some glorious victories as well along the way. So I saw you checking that first chest in Swamp. I was excited when Ivan was checking it too.
Oh, that doing that check early won me my second game in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. I was mentioning that. Your race against Lack Attack. Yeah. So.
Do you or Wild have any further questions for me?
No, I don't think so.
Any more words about the tournament or this scene in general from you?
I think the tournament would have been nicer if there were more Swiss rounds. Like even one more would have made things a bit better. Because I know like a lot of people got to X and 2 because they faced other people that could have been in the top 8. And it's just, oh, well, you're eliminated from the competition now.
Right, and I think this is a growing community for this game, and this tournament has, helped bring the game to light more, so hopefully we'll have a lot more participants for the next one.
That'd be nice. And of course, I also look forward to the next co-op tournament.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were just talking to Ivan about that. Should be fun. But we will have to see. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna be having our eyes on the top 8 that come out of this. But we really enjoyed, having you in the tournament and watching your progress throughout. So, congratulations on 5 fun rounds.
Yep. It were fun rounds.
Absolutely.
Including this hammer at Pyramid Fairy.
Well, it's a unique thing to get to do. I mean, have you had a seed where you have to do that?
Yes.
Maybe once. Yeah. Yeah, long ago, but it's one of those crazy things. Like I mentioned it in passing early on because I was like, we didn't, no one had gone to Meyer yet, and we didn't know what the medallion requirement was. But Ivan had like 2 medallions. So I was like, well, we have Pyramid Fairy open, and Locklen has the mirror. Ivan doesn't. So like maybe this could happen, and then it actually did, and I was shocked, but also impressed.
Well, I'm sure chat was thrilled.
I'm glad that both of you actually realized that that could happen, because that's not one that a lot of people think about. So props to you guys.
Well, with that, I think we are wrapping it up here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, hopefully we can catch Locklen get into go mode here. Because he's just about to reach that big chest in TR, which is our hookshot go mode. And then we'll probably just call it.
Yeah, I thought about checking the rest of East Death Mountain before going the Turtle Lock, but I'm thinking at that point, I have to do Turtle Lock anyways, and there's a bunch of chests in there. If I find hookshot, I'm in go.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, like, you have to do this dungeon anyways, so it's like, might as well search through it. Just as easily could have the hookshot. So, solid play there. And you got your Spazer. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I was prepared to use it against Mother Brain if I had to. If we went on this, if we weren't already like 4 hours into a seed.
It would have helped.
Because I didn't have quite enough supers to do it. But in going back to this tournament, I also want to say that this tournament helped me learn several of the various tricks that this game can require of you, or not require, but help you along. And I encourage other people, who want to learn these tricks, just look at one and try and focus on it. You don't have to know how to do Suitless Witty all in one go, or anything else silly like that. You can get there bit by bit.
And nor will you have to, do some of the crazy, like, sequence breaking that, some of you guys have done in this tournament. Like, it's pretty approachable if you're playing on normal and you know both games reasonably well. You just have to know where the item locations are, really. That's the trick. And there are plenty of tools out there to help you with tracking all that information.
Well, once again, thanks to you two and the tracker and the audience.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to Death by Snoo, who has been tracking this entire race and has been helping us figure out what's going on in this seed and understanding where both players are. Like, we wouldn't be able to understand what's happening without him. So thank you. And big thanks to my co-commentator, Wild. And of course, huge thanks to both of our racers, Ivan and Locklen. Be sure you're following both of their channels so you can catch up on more SMZ3 goodness when they're playing at any other time. But I will leave Wild here with the final word.
Are you sure you want to do that, sir? Because then I will see you next mission. But seriously, though, thank you everybody for coming out and enjoying this quality entertainment, if I do say so myself, provided by Team Wildcard here on comms. Like, obviously, Locklen and Ivan showing this awesome gameplay of this awesome combo. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful evening, night. It's night at this point. It is night. Have a good night.